Welcome, everyone, to a Delco Nerd Network Rewind review, where we sit down and discuss some of our favorite film franchises of the past. This season, we've been talking about the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Joining me, as always, is Mr. Anthony the Gooch Ragucci.
How dare you podcast where he podcasted?
You told me to do something here, and I cannot remember it at all.
It was.
I genuinely couldn't. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I didn't. We agreed that you wouldn't do it.
That's
you
right.
said you wouldn't do it. So now
That's true.
You're like taking it back.
No, I'm just confused. I thought we weren't doing.
I just said it was part of.
I liked the bit.
Fucking move on.
Casey Wellman
Yo.
and Mr. Matthew Penza.
All was well.
I love it. Yeah, how you feeling, by the way?
Oh, I feel well.
He's back.
Feeling well.
He's
Oh,
ready.
He only missed one. He's ready to cast his
Oh my
Patronus.
God.
The battle,
I
you know.
feel
Yeah.
great.
He could be out
That's
during
good.
that movie. It would have been fine. We need him for the final battle.
Damn,
I love
that was
it.
a great
Second Wizarding
greeting.
War.
Yeah,
Shit.
it sucks. 'Cause we'll get your input on the ratings at the end. But
I was a Deathly Hollow. Last episode.
that's what I like to hear. All right,
Which
guys.
doesn't really make sense in context.
No, it's okay.
We'll just
you could
run
be
with
one of the
it.
most
We're
powerful,
running with it. We
most
run with
powerful
things here.
wizarding things. I said this. We're talking about Deathly Hallows Part 2. I hope. But anyways, we are. Initially released July 15th, 2011, with a rating of PG-13. A production budget of $125 million, and reminder, this was filmed at the same time as Part 1. So really, altogether, it was $250 million.
What is? When was Part 1 released? When was Part 2 released?
2010, 2011, respectively.
Like
What was it, like October?
straight year?
and July.
Or was it like?
Yeah, so, what, a filming?
No. Like
like a year apart.
It's,
Yeah.
oh, no,
It
it's
wasn't
less than a
even-
year.
it
So
wasn't
November
even,
11th to July 15th of the following year.
So,
So pretty
That's
short
a,
wait,
That's
actually.
a pretty short wait.
Yeah.
It's like
April.
comparing it to
Pretty
like
almost, yeah.
Infinity War and Endgame. We had a full. Was it a year and a half?
I think it was a
Yeah,
little
but
less.
I don't think they filmed those at the same time.
Yes, they
no?
did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
they
did.
But as
was
you
one
can
of the last
imagine,
ones
the
to do it.
special effects for those are probably way off the charts.
Well, and I think the Russo brothers have talked about, again, it seems to be a common thread with filming films back to back. It's a lot,
Money.
and it does, but it does save the money, a lot of money.
And
Because
it
like I assume if they
makes
did these
money.
actually separate, you're looking
Well,
at maybe
you
$200
can't
million.
sell all the Endgame or Infinity War merch without, and then back it up with Endgame merch.
Exactly.
Or whatever order. it
No,
was.
exactly.
You gotta get rid of it. I'm just kidding.
For
It's
sure.
money. No,
It's- well, that's the basis
they sell
of all
the
of this,
Deathly
correct,
Hallows
yeah.
Part 1 Lego set and the Deathly
Yeah,
Hallows
yeah.
Part 2
Lego
Lego
set.
set.
yeah.
And then the Deathly Hallows Part 1, Harry versus Part 2. I mean, there's a
Right.
ton of stuff.
Yeah.
With the production budget, like I
And
said.
we got the poster thanks
We
to
do.
Casey.
We do.
I gave it to him, and then he brought it back.
So
the
thanks
circle
to
of
you,
life.
huh?
Yeah, so thanks to me.
The circle of life.
Yeah.
Like I said, $125 million production budget with an opening weekend. This is a big one. $169.1 million.
I mean, it's the last movie.
and
we
that.
all
I
know,
mean,
you
I
know?
guess the last one was
billion.
million. I'm sorry, million. I didn't.
Wait, what?
I meant to say million. Did I say
Wait,
billion?
what?
I heard
What was
million.
the number again?
160. Oh, 169.1 million.
For some reason, I just heard like 1 point something million. I was like,
Oh.
wait.
That's it.
So 169.1 million with a worldwide box office of 1.3 billion.
Billion.
Damn, crushed it.
So yeah, that's including
You
all
get it.
today and all that good stuff.
Damn,
With,
Daniel.
damn it, indeed. Directed by David Yates once again, with the original novel written by J.K. Rowling, of course, and the screenplay once again by Mr. Stephen Kloves.
He's back.
He's back, as he has been.
Been
All
back.
right, for the old IMDb description, Harry, Ron, and Hermione search for Voldemort's remaining Horcruxes in their effort to destroy the Dark Lord as the final battle rages on at Hogwarts. Succinct, you know what's going on. I'll give them credit on that one. I think it's a pretty good one.
Kind of sums up the last hour of the movie, thoh. Not like
Kind,
not
I guess.
the lead in,
Well,
but
I feel
yeah,
like
yeah.
we'll talk about it, but I feel like you actually get into the battle a lot quicker than I remember in this movie. But,
4/5 of the
more
movie
than
are
that.
the battle.
that's what I was thinking.
You
So
know,
I feel
it's
like it is.
the
Okay, yeah.
1/5 in the beginning. It's like maybe
So you know, Casey,
25 minutes.
Casey, you're wrong. That's what we're trying
That's
to say.
fine. I
That's it.
accept that.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Now, guys, let's get into it. The review. Casey, let's start with you. What do you think of the Deathly Hallows Part 2?
I'm just in my head about being wrong. No,
I know, you should be.
I actually am running right off of watching this before I came here. I had a crazy week, so I was like, I know I'm gonna be done work at this time. As a fallback, I'm gonna watch it. So I actually brought the DVD to work today, went to my parents and watched it while I was like waiting to
I love
come
the
over here.
commitment.
So I'm like raw off of it. So there's still a little bit of digestion going on.
Sure,
but,
sure.
This is. I have to look at my list again. Like I might actually have put this as my favorite movie, but I think that's because of like just the hype that I'm buzzing off it right now.
Sure.
I think we're at the point where it doesn't matter what they excluded. Like they're wrapping up the story now, and I think that they did the whole film series justice with this final entry. So I was very pleased with it. Watching it again, it's been a little bit since I watched that. Like always say, I feel like we see the old ones on TV all the time and stuff. Like, and part one, if I see either of the last two,
It's true.
We'll get into like any gripes I have about how things shook out, but for the most part, very pleased with it. It was good to walk down the memory lane on this one. So
I love to hear it. Penza, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great finale for the movie series. Like you said, like what they excluded prior to this, they're gonna
irrelevant.
They're gonna exclude in this.
Yeah.
I have a couple gripes in this, and there was 2 or 3 times I pulled out the book just to go back to the section and be like, yo, did this happen this way, or like, where did the Snape scene happen? I don't think I thought it happened in the Shaking Shack. I don't remember it. Like little stuff like that,
Sure.
which doesn't really bother me necessarily.
They're not like integral changes.
But like, there's like, yeah.
when you
essentially.
have a picture in your head of how it all goes down, then it's
But I think it's a really good like I said, final send off for the film series. And yeah, I mean, I remember going to see it midnight and being so excited and reading through it the first time. I think a lot of times with series that have this many in the run of them, it's a tall task to finish it off strong. I think.
Seriously.
I think
Completely
they did a good job, even though there are a few gripes, but you can't go verbatim,
Of course. No, that makes
Totally.
sense. I mean, when you're transferring something this detailed, any book, you're going to lose something.
Yeah, but I think I sorry.
No, keep going. Keep going.
I remember there being some like a decent amount of anger from book readers when the movie came out, just with like some of the ending in particular, like the very end of the film.
I'm
yeah.
curious.
certain
I
stuff
think
like,
I might
and
know
even
what
like
when I was doing some research, I
the
think I
Battle
saw
of
that.
Hogwarts and stuff like that.
Right.
But it's like, it's tough because I don't know. We'll get into it later. I understand what they're saying, but in the context, like I said, the film series, I think that
It
was
works.
A really,
Yeah,
it works.
All right.
It's like what they had built prior,
I totally get what you mean.
Sure.
All right. Gooch, what did you think?
I think it's pretty rare that a film kind of gets to this point, that one entire film is dedicated to an entire battle. Let's think Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. Let's think Infinity War. Obviously, this is before Infinity War.
Yeah,
so
but Endgame didn't focus this
or sorry,
much.
Endgame. Yeah.
Endgame didn't even focus this much on the battle, I don't think.
Yeah. And
know?
you get to this point and this movie is on the backs and the faults and the positives on everything that's come before, and like usually a movie like this is always good. Like I think Deathly Hallows Part 2 is probably the best film in the series because it culminates really well. Like Penza said, I have one gripe, and it's more like it's always like a nitty nerdy gripe. It's not like it's a pacing issue. It's just me being like, I think I wanted more from this. And this movie isn't that long. It goes at a good pace. I never felt bored, unlike Part 1, where I felt Part 1 was like, holy shit, like what are we fucking doing here? Yeah, this film is fucking great. The performances are stellar. Like, I really didn't find, besides my one gripe, which we'll definitely talk about when we get to the end, I don't really have any issues with it. But like looking back, most of the movies, none of us really had like really big negatives. Maybe it's pacing, or it's little things. But like this series, this franchise is really well done overall, and the movie the final movie just kind of cements that.
Yeah, you can sit down, like they're on TV all the time. I think when they're on, I watch them all the time because like even rewatching so many times, like all of them are enjoyable. With maybe Part 1 being a little slow here and there, but like I kind of like the stuff that they get into in Part 1. But still, like I think all of them are pretty. You can hop in at any moment and just like watch it and enjoy yourself. You know,
I totally agree.
What
Yeah.
about you, Tria?
I think it's an incredible feat to accomplish it this way. Honestly,
Right.
like I really
Yeah.
do. Like
That's
I can
kinda
only,
what I was
I can
saying,
only
but I didn't
echo
say
what
that.
you're saying. Like
Yeah.
it builds off of everything that comes before it in such a cohesive and coherent way. And when you're like, oh, that's where that was set in. Oh, that's where this was all picking up. I mean, the Snape stuff we can obviously get into later, but overall, I think it's an amazing end to a freaking 8-film arc, which is a rare thing even today. You don't see. I mean, you can talk about the MCU; those aren't necessarily. Those are obviously connecting, but they aren't direct sequels to one another all the time.
And we're like essentially going on forever.
Absolutely,
You know?
for sure.
There's no like.
There's
end
no
point.
end game.
Right.
Yeah, there's the pun
I
for
don't
you.
even know like another series like the Fast movies.
For sure, that's true.
But
And those are much more tongue in
They
cheek,
could do
obviously, and
anything
they
in
can just
those,
sit
man.
in
They
their
went
own
to
space.
in the last one.
It's
like-
insane. It really is. But I mean, they've built an incredible world, an interesting world. It all comes together. Even like seeing all the monsters come in at the end of the fight. You see all these like the big ogres, the spiders, all of them
And,
battling.
they're
those
going
are
back
the
to the
giants,
Chamber of
yeah.
Secrets, and you know.
It's a good smorgasbord of bringing everything together while giving you some payoffs that feel genuinely earned. And yeah, I'd be curious to hear what the big book differences are. There were some questions I definitely have. Like I have specific. This was the most notes I think I've taken on any
Oh,
of them.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
but also it's kind of just things like I'm like make sure I mention this or something like that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Right.
no, I gotta give David Yates and everyone else on board. Stephen Noel, what was his name again? I always
Cloves.
Steve Cloves. How can you forget?
I know. I
Garlic
feel like a
cloves.
piece of shit. I got to give them all a ton of credit for doing something that's very hard, and I'm eagerly awaiting the remake of all 8 of them at some point.
Oh
no,
my
I'm
God.
kidding.
Yeah.
I genuinely
TV
think
show.
these will hold up
Cursed Child
for
TV
a
show.
long
They
time.
do. They hold
Yeah.
up absolutely. Even
Wasn't
the
there
first
rumors
one, I
of-
think, was the only point we talked about where the CGI.
It still
At
wasn't-
age.
It still wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad, but it's definitely
Even that's
noticeably 2000 or 1999 compared
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
especially when you get into the stuff at like I guess 2011. I
So
gotta say,
still
man,
now.
CGI even back in 2011, they can get some pretty good physics and shit going. It's just about spending the time on it.
Yeah,
But
totally.
yeah. So I thought the start off with Snape kind of just lording over Hogwarts was really cool, and like you can see that he doesn't like it. I feel like almost like now with the like you can almost again this is me reading into it and knowing ahead, but it almost seems like he's like fuck I don't really enjoy this, but I'm doing what I have to do to get through.
committed.
But exactly,
Yeah,
and
I mean, he's come this far.
absolutely. And
As we will know.
I had
Alan
similar
Rickman.
thoughts,
I
yeah.
mean, come on, you really this is the one where he shines. Again, thinking back to my reasoning for hating Snape was like, God, he's such a piece of shit to Harry
he's
all the
so
time.
good.
But then I realized like he's not in these movies as much as I thought or
No,
remember him being, especially near the end. Or I'm sorry, he's in it as much as I thought more near the end. But I don't know. What did you guys think about the whole opening? No Hedwig's theme at the beginning. No. Dun, 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 dun,
I don't think we got that with part 1, but I
no,
could've
you
been-
did.
Okay.
You did.
Was I
Well,
wrong?
at least that was one of the fun facts. Was this was the only movie to
Oh.
not open?
There we go.
With
I
that.
was wrong.
So I think that definitely shows you,
RIP head.
like shit's hitting the fan.
Just like with part 1, I like how we get like the students marching in almost in like a Nazi Germany-esque way. Of course, we're calling back to that
For sure.
So yeah, and like we have those when they get in. I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit. When they get to the dining room or whatever, like it like the whole feeling is just weird. And like they're all in uniforms too, no normal clothes. Actually, it's kind of funny the scene where Harry and Ron are back and like shit starts going crazy and there's students running everywhere. They're the only 3 in normal clothes.
And Ginny.
Oh, and Ginny.
Yeah.
Oh, good call. I didn't.
Like, I
I don't.
noticed that. I was like, everyone's in their uniform, but that's way down the line. So
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
One
yeah,
scene
sorry,
I
noticed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's just I noticed.
I'm
because,
hopping way ahead.
No,
so
it's all right. It's all right.
Get me back.
I liked there was a very good lore building scene in my opinion, and it was Ollivander's scene with the wand, like him kind of explaining what's going on and being just like. It's like you talk about it as if it's almost alive, and it's like yes, it chooses the
Yeah.
wizard, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Bring it back to how like important wands I didn't realize were gonna be in these
Yeah.
movies.
There's like
And I was-
chapters of it in the last.
Yeah,
part,
they don't
you know,
really
like
they don't
about-
really get into them per se. Like we don't in the movies. You don't really know. Like this is the most we get. And yeah, I could have probably sit there and if we were exclusively talking about wands, I could probably think of like 30 million questions about wands and how they work.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny, the nitty gritty of the wands is something like, even if you look up, because I was trying to Google it, it's just like, yeah, you kind of have to infer a lot of things, but then there's also definite things
Yeah.
like the wand movements to cast certain spells and things like that. Yeah, I also really enjoy that whole opening scene of them just going into the bank and things like that. I feel like they kick it off really well.
The Polyjuice potion thing, I think, is kind of like overused at this point.
Also, the thing that confused me with that is Ron takes a Polyjuice, right?
No.
Oh, is he just wearing a fake beard?
They like you
Or they
like
charmed him.
magically
altered, because I
mess
was
with his
like,
face.
that always confused me because it like I was like, did he take a Polyjuice potion that just looked like someone similar to him?
Yeah.
What's going on? Because they go through that charm check, I guess, or whatever,
Yeah.
and then they all look.
You know
normal.
what I found weird? Why does Griphook think he's like honestly gonna keep the Sword of Gryffindor? Like we've seen it like teleport and like be in places where it needs to be. Like, what makes him think he's just gonna be able to hold
just
on to
a
it?
goblin.
He's a greedy little goblin. He's like, I'll take care. And I'm curious if he.
you went goblin mode.
And I'm curious, like, does it disappear from someone, like, if they're alive? Because obviously, but when it disappears from him, but then it disappears from the.
It goes to a
I would
true
just disappear in
Gryffindor.
general.
That was another question. So Snape went in and took the sword. Is that what he was saying? That Griphook was saying?
Like he was instrumental in the fake being in there. and
Got it. Okay. I was.
if I'm not mistaken, the real one was stored in like a vault in Dumbledore's office.
Got
or
it.
something
Yeah, we
like
were
that.
talking about this last episode.
That makes sense.
But I don't think they
Okay.
really touch on that too much.
Interesting. I also like the Nightmare Train car thing to get to your Gringotts vault. That was pretty fun.
Yeah,
It's was it? What happened in the first one again? Isn't it like kind
They
of
do
like
the
a
same
big,
thing.
Is it the same
It's
thing? They show
similar.
up on like
The-
a.
the-
like a lesser of
like-
a scale.
yeah.
yeah, they kind of like walk
The
through the
Lestranges
skull.
are like
Yeah.
old money, so their stuff's like way
so it's
down.
very deep.
It's like the safest, most secure parts of the
I like it. I like
bank.
Yeah.
And then Harry's is like got a fortune, but he's like on a more
Interesting.
populated
to the point where they have a
area.
dragon chained up down there, and
Yeah.
they use the little
The Ukrainian Iron Belly.
it. Oh, is that? I
Yeah,
like. I
yeah,
was
yeah.
curious.
Yeah,
What
they
I was
said
going to
it.
ask. What is that breed of dragon?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, Ron names it.
That's
as
like
soon as
Ron's thing.
Oh, he
Every
does?
time a dragon's around, he's like, Thessa, and like whatever. Yeah, you know.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ! It's a dragon of some kind.
I was like sitting there at a really weird that dragon scene. Like it struck me. I'm like, Harry's known about magic for all of like 6 years at this point, and he's like just casually like, oh, fucking dragon. Down, I just fell 300 fucking feet, and then like was caught by a
He's like, "No, I'm
levitation
cool."
spell, and then like he just like rolls with it. Life's been so hard and crazy on him, and he's just like.
Again, that's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Even in the early movies, where they're just like, he's
Ron's
like,
more
what?
amazed.
Yeah, he's like, what? A shoe's a port key, and he's like, yeah, you fucking idiot. It's
a mangy
It's a
boat.
port key,
Yeah.
you moron. Didn't you know that? Yeah, he hasn't been raised that way. Again, I love the mutual exclusivity of like magical people don't really know what happens in the Muggle
Yeah.
world, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
But the other one, they're just choosing not to. Yeah, I thought that whole scene was very interesting. I do feel like it moves kind of quickly, and they're just like, all right, we're in the vault. We got
Yeah.
the thing. What is that goblin? What is that Horcrux?
Helga Hufflepuff.
Oh,
So he had
okay.
Slytherin's locket, Hufflepuff's
That makes
cup
sense.
or goblet or whatever that was like just passed
They don't
down.
really-
He wound up getting somewhere else. Like in the
Okay.
books, they go.
So
in that.
no. I'm just trying to think.
They don't
so,
really take a lot of time to like explain what these items are all that much
Yeah.
because I am like, okay, like it's just like a cup,
That's what I thought too. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a gold goblet.
but
So-
it is a thing. But they don't really take a lot of time to like hit that home that it is.
So by that time in the movie, then we have how many Horcruxes? We had the locket.
So like if you go in order,
Yeah.
like the diary, the Marvolo, the Gaunt ring.
Okay,
I
I know. I was
the
having trouble with
locket,
the locket,
the cup,
cup.
and then at the castle
Yes.
is where
Okay.
he gets the last three. So,
Got it. All right. so there's 7 physical Horcruxes, right? Is the
Yeah.
idea?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Well, technically 8.
And all. Yeah. True.
No, it's 7. Like,
7 physical.
It's,
Well,
it's 7,
I guess
and then
I mean, we're
Voldemort
dancing around the
itself
thing, yeah.
would be like,
yeah.
I know, but they're technically all physical.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
That's
true.
a fair point. I
You're
guess.
right, you're right.
Like if you count
You're
if you count Voldemort as a
Like
Horcrux,
non-living.
That's true.
I guess.
Items.
Non-living.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a person.
there's
and item.
6 inanimate, and then
Yeah.
Harry. Like,
Yeah.
he was an accident, and then Voldemort.
so it'd be 6 non-living and 2 living.
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah,
per se.
yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and then the Nagini thing. I mean, if we brought that up, it's just like, what's like, they don't like Nagini's just like, yeah, Nagini's a Horcrux, and we're like, what?
It's true. But
Nagini's a
again, it's
person,
just that whole
too.
the person thing really is the more thing looking back.
It
You're like,
raises
That's
so
a
many
good point.
questions.
Like,
Like,
Because they, if it has like beasts, they like introduce us to Nagini.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
like, goes with Grindelwald and all. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
So I
They
don't
didn't
know.
even bring her back, did they? Did you see the new? You didn't see the new one.
I didn't
right?
see the new one, but I saw
don't
like where
remember.
like we meet her. But
Right.
I don't remember like I don't know if they go into detail on how Nagini
No.
it became.
winds up.
We
with him.
brought
I think,
this up a few times that we just they don't seem to have the information.
Well,
I feel like
More-
he found her somewhere and like could talk to her, so he took her, kind of thing. Like
And he's
in,
like, "Oh, you're a person."
like a freak show thing or something like that, like something weird where she wasn't doing much amazing stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, you're coming with me."
I love to imagine Voldemort just out casually talking to snakes, and then he
Yeah,
talks to
yeah. At
the
Nagini
zoo.
and is like, "Oh, you're a person. What's going on? What happened? Shit, you want to
Like-
be my Horcrux?"
Like Lucius, look, standing there while Voldemort's talking to Nagini. Like that's gotta be so fucking chilling.
Yeah.
Just to be there while someone's talking to this snake. It's just
Yeah.
like,
It's like this isn't fun at all.
Yeah.
I do love how, and it was the same I feel like in the last one, but just how distraught he is.
the fall from grace.
Yeah, he's just very much just even more in this, like just
Who?
stringy hair. Lucius.
Lucius.
Yeah.
He's just
I wanna
not
s-
having any of it at all. And I do love, I think I mentioned this in the last one, but just how ready, you can tell everyone's ready to leave Voldemort as soon as he isn't the most powerful. And that's very apparent later at the end, and I really like a moment.
I like
and
how
talk about-
they really display him sort of like losing his not his
He's,
shit,
like,
but
becoming human. Yeah.
weaker. Yeah,
Yeah.
like very
his
like-
mortality shines through like every time they chip away at it.
Yeah, they do a good job at representing that. Yeah, like physically, and he's either shouting in pain or, like I think he's casting a spell and he lets out like a at the end. Like it sounds like he's like in pain, like even doing this like really high
well,
level
because
magic.
what's it
The
called?
effort's there, not just like
right,
casual,
like yeah.
And it's also that the like elder ones battling him at the same time too,
Yeah,
right? Is kind of also
resisting,
yeah.
It's not his
Yeah.
mask. It's
Interesting.
masked there, yeah.
What did you guys think about the scene with Dumbledore's brother? Because I actually like that a lot more than I
Aberforth.
realized. Aberforth, yeah.
Yeah.
What's his Kieran Hines, I believe his name is. I felt like he actually looked like.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
Kieran Hines.
Yeah.
Steppenwolf.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, Steppenwolf himself.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So again, like was that just to kind of drive home the point that Harry's
So
like,
was-
I don't care.
Was
I-
that when his career took a dive? Is that you guys know? Yeah, right.
So was that point to kind of drive home that Harry was just like, I don't care. I trust Dumbledore at this point.
Yeah.
Because I did like the idea of what you were talking about, that the idea in this book is that he's struggling to decide whether or not to trust Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's necessarily conveyed super well in these two movies.
Because that's what up until like that, I guess the whole time he still is like acknowledging I don't know everything about this man. Like but in this, the guy that I knew, I'm choosing to trust him.
Yeah.
Like so that's like the point where they drive home to your point. Like he decided like I'm gonna go with what he's tasked me to do.
That
Like I
makes
trust
sense.
that he knew why or even if
Yeah.
I don't get it all.
I trust him, so
Yeah,
fuck it.
yeah.
Yeah, again, I
Which
think that's an interesting storyline. I just wish they illustrated it better in the first, because I get the
Yeah.
idea of like that woman talking to him at the wedding, and then it kind of sets up this whole doubt. But
Mm.
again, I would love to go back and watch these movies completely fresh.
Yeah,
and like to just really judge that.
It sets up some like not plot holes, but like plot questions that you necessarily never get answered of like Dumbledore's past. I think we kind of talked about this in the last one.
with
but yeah.
with Grindelwald and
Yes,
stuff.
but
Yeah.
it's not even with Grindelwald, but like his family and like
True.
how his brother really doesn't think super highly of him. Clearly, I guess.
Yeah, they got beef. Like
Yeah. There's something there, but it all in all, like it's kind of like even though he's like, yeah, he's my brother, I'm gonna help you out, and then Neville. I guess so. Maybe there's some stuff in the books about that portrait. So does that portrait connect to another portrait in Hogwarts?
It's in the rumor requirement.
Oh,
So like another use
rumor
of
requirement
it.
always comes
Yeah,
back.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, and
It's
we
a-
go back to
We do require that room a lot.
another
Yeah.
room we go back to.
No, definitely.
That was his sister. You picked up on it. Dumbledore's sister.
Yes,
in the book.
yeah, I think they make
couldn't-
that pretty
yeah,
clear.
And
I
then
know.
so she died in the Grindelwald duel,
Yeah,
right?
like the
Is that what's
three-way
happening?
duel between
Okay.
Dumbledore, his brother, and Grindelwald.
And-
Again, can you talk to that painting?
Like he does. I don't
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. No, like I would ask. I would
Yeah.
ask so many paintings, so many questions.
Right.
That I'd get a painting.
Yeah,
of,
that's a
like,
question-
Could I make a painting of George Washington magical?
And-
Oh yeah, I don't
Right.
really know like
Again,
how
these-
that magic
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, I don't
how-
know either. This is more
one thing that
shown and
Aberforth-
not told.
Yeah,
kind of thing,
yeah.
Aberforth kind of says to Harry, he like his beef with him. Besides the point, like he thinks that Dumbledore is kind of like lusted power in a way. That's always an interesting kind of quandary with like good characters, and they do lust power, but they're good.
No, for sure.
You kind of see like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it speaks to that. I feel like that underwhelming story. Like I like that idea of Dumbledore was actually might have been a piece of like on the
Yeah.
track.
Not
to
a,
be.
not a piece of shit, but
No,
like
like,
he
kinda.
was.
No, he like
Yeah,
kind of like a
like-
piece of shit. Like
Really?
that's what it seems like. Yeah, like he was lusting
Oh,
after
maybe to
power
his
and he wanted.
family, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
just in general,
okay.
like in general, but then he kind of made a
neglectful
turn.
and, like, yeah, no, you're good. I I'm trying to make it my goal to not be like, well, in the book on this one because
Well,
like it's the
book,
movies.
if we
No,
don't
but
put it
that-
on
that
page
is just something that they
32.
open up more about. So that's why like
Yeah, they go
It,
pretty deep into
it
it.
definitely
like-
feels like a casualty of making this a film. Sadly.
yeah, exactly.
Not
So,
that it
like-
necessarily
and,
had to be.
and that's where I get like how we all kind of said at the beginning, like they're working with what they set up thus far, and that's not part of it. So it's
Sure.
like
And that's,
whatever,
And that's the other
but-
thing. It's like kind of part of it, but they didn't really put their foot
Yeah.
all the way in the door, which kind of sucks. So,
it's almost like he was Aberforth's like a necessary character for getting them into Hogwarts,
so
and then
you
after
have to
that.
have
They're
that.
still,
Yeah,
They didn't really utilize him other than for him to come in with a random Patronus.
it's true.
I
Yeah, it is
tried
true.
to I tried to find an answer on how he met Nagini and couldn't find it.
Nothing.
I'm not surprised.
That's kind of okay.
No,
I don't-
again,
I don't
it's just-
need
No,
to
no,
know.
no. I was trying to see like in the lore like how they came across.
Right.
That would make
I
sense.
couldn't.
So I just
don't-
pulled whatever I said out of my ass.
But, like-
was
No,
just
I don't
like,
think you said
believe
no.
it.
I think you said you didn't know.
But
to
it's
be
just
honest.
like I think Fantastic Beasts opens that worm more than the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because
No,
it's
for
like,
sure.
now that we know that Nagini's a person, like what the fuck?
It's just an extra.
but
It's
she
just
has
an
a-
extra
she
layer
has
to think about now within these movies.
She has a like a blood curse that
It
makes her
turns
like,
her to like an animagus permanently,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
After
she
a while.
can't turn back.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's like how she stays in snake
Yeah.
form.
So,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so we go through that tunnel. Neville
yeah.
really shines in this movie. He's got a lot of confidence.
He's got some great moments.
He's got a lot of integral parts. You know, him killing Nagini, but like the bridge scene, like they really give him a lot to do. And I mean, like, you know, we don't really get that. Like, you know, Seamus gets his bridge blowing scene, and you know,
Seamus.
Dean Thomas.
no, Seamus.
No,
you
Seamus
were-
doesn't
you
get
were
the
saying,
blow-up suit.
I thought you were trying to think of his
No,
name.
no, I was thinking.
What-
I was about to say Maggie Smith, but I wanted
No,
to
that's
say
Neville who does the blow up
McGonagall.
of the bridge.
No, Seamus is the one who.
No, he throws the thing.
correct, but
Yeah.
Seamus is the one who knows how to like rig it.
The,
Oh,
the demo
gotcha.
squad.
Oh, I see.
What's
I
the fuck's
still-
her name? McGonagall's like
Yeah.
Seamus Finnegan is sure. You know, he's a you know
He's good with
pyrotechnic.
explosives.
Like he,
no doubt got experience on
yeah, right. Like he's not. He's like, yeah, I can blow the bridge
Experience,
sky high.
A
whatever
moment
the
I
fuck
do
it
want
is.
to talk about now that you just brought her up, though, is that moment with McGonagall facing down Snape, like stepping in for Harry.
Oh, and the one casting
it was
spells
great.
back
They
at
were-
him.
That
Yeah.
was good. And
Yeah.
a tiny fun
And how
fact we'll
dare
get
you
ahead.
stand where he stood?
Classic.
Comes out of the group like he was there the whole time. I'm like, I'm right here, motherfucker.
And then all those pussy fucking Slytherins are like, look him up.
It's interesting that McGonagall is the one to sort of villainize Slytherin House. Like, all of them, dungeon, fucking, we don't have
Yeah,
any-
I don't like. See, that's
It's interesting.
That's not what happened in the book.
Yeah, you'd be like, those
That's
people
the one.
get
That's
to the,
one of the
So,
grapes
so
that.
does that just
bothers
like
me.
not happen at all?
No, so what happens is like they're like anyone under a certain age or doesn't want to participate in the fighting,
Like-
go to the dungeons.
Oh, I see.
minors.
Yeah,
not
'cause
telling
they-
them.
And most of the Slytherins go there because like their parents are outside fighting.
Right.
That makes
sense.
I
Hogwarts.
think if one thing, and I mean maybe like critiquing like J.K. Rowling's writing of Slytherin, we don't have any good Slytherin characters. I think if we had one, what do you
Not true.
what do you mean?
I mean, the most important man of all is a Slytherin, the hero of
Oh,
this movie.
Snape.
Yeah.
True.
You
But he-
idiot.
But we need, but we don't know that until the end.
But that's the. But it's still there.
But
But he's
I-
like not. It. Yeah.
And I get what you mean. No active
he
Slytherins.
is a,
no
he,
like
he is a
Slytherins.
chaotic good.
Sure. Yeah.
We needed a student who could ground Slytherin throughout the movies. Is what
I get what you
meant.
mean. Like someone active in Slytherin at that time.
Every
That wasn't
Slytherin
pretty-
we meet is more or less a piece of
They're-
shit.
They're just like the hoity-toity, like nose in the air, cunning,
Right, and
like,
that's fine. They could have kept that, but like, what if there was the one Slytherin who was like not like that?
Sure.
To show that not all Slytherins are hoity-toity pieces of shit.
What if they are though?
Well,
Like,
I,
what
I
if
mean,
that's
I
like, it's
know
like the
I am a
sorting hat-
hoity-toity
yeah.
piece of shit,
The,
and
the
I am a
sorting hat
Slytherin,
is
so-
like seasoned to your whole like being,
But
but
then-
then makes that decision. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, they might not be Draco evil, but they're not.
They're not. Like, I'm not
like,
hanging with Harry Potter.
yeah, like I don't know. That's
okay.
like the
That-
Slytherin
blood,
character.
yeah.
It's
it's a good rebuttal.
But I also do
It's-
think there is a lot of like melodrama in this, to where there's
For
very
sure.
clear goods and very clear bads,
yeah.
and
yeah.
There's
There's
not
a-
many.
there's
the Slytherins
like,
are used as
Snape
the bad.
is really the only gray character.
I think there's I can't think of them off the top of my head, but I feel like there's definitely probably a couple more
Like
grayish
Lupin really
people.
isn't. He seems at first, but he's not.
I would say Dumbledore's gray to a degree in the way of how
See,
he
but
handles telling Harry
he's,
and all that
he's
stuff.
not. I wouldn't. I
And
would say
uses
he's,
him,
he's
like,
good.
I call him more
Lupin's biggest problem is like
You're
his-
never doubting Dumbledore's intentions.
I mean, I think that you are
Like his
supposed
goal-
to doubt his
end
intent,
goals.
but I think you are kind of supposed to doubt his intentions with that reveal and everything like that, and realize, oh no, he is a piece of shit
Sorry,
too,
Penza.
as well as everyone else.
I cut you off.
No, I was gonna say like the problem with Lupin, we don't get like a ton of the Marauders even in the movie, like that like core group. His problem is like he's terrified to obviously like he gets married and
And they both die.
yeah. So when she's spoilers no. So when they find out that she's pregnant, he's like terrified to bring another werewolf into the world. He's like
So
I didn't want to pass
they
this
have
down.
their kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Harry becomes the godfather.
Yeah, because
Teddy.
Remus, when he's dead, when they're Forbidden Forest, he tells them, I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
He becomes his god. He doesn't have to take
his name's
care of
Teddy.
him, does he?
I can't even remember. Did they ever actually make like the announcement? Like I know Tonks
No.
was about to, and then like Moody.
I don't think
was
so.
like enough chit chat or whatever.
Yeah.
The fuck, and then they go, but like yeah, they never
Can't remember.
And then,
For-
No,
really.
but
no,
there's-
they never say
they-
it.
in
There's
the
a
book-
moment like in the book when like Lupin like tries to run off and join Harry, Hermione, and Ron because like abandon his family and like they don't allow him to stay with them.
Yeah,
Interesting.
He like comes and tells. They get like wasted and shit. That's actually one of the times that they
Oh.
like drink.
Yeah.
They start drinking and like he tells them he's got Teddy is the baby and Harry's gonna be the godfather and then they're all kind of like, well, why are you here if you just had a child?
baby, yeah.
And he's like, oh, like to help you. Basically, he's trying to like Matt said, run out on it, and it actually turns into like a fight between he and Harry. Like Harry's like, you can't be here. Like you have a kid at home. Go home.
Damn.
Harry's like the adult figure. in the
Yeah, to
situation,
Lupin
going,
in that
like,
See,
situation.
that,
yeah.
seems, that
like, you
does
can't- you
seem
can't
like
abandon your
that
kid.
seems like a pretty big plot line to cut out in a good way because then they would have had to do all that.
Well, you'd have to go deeper into like
The
I said,
certain
They
things,
didn't do a
like,
ton
yeah.
into the Marauders
And then
in
they were-
general, so it's
and
like
it's a shame to see them two just sort of die off screen and the same thing. It's George who dies.
Fred.
Fred.
Yeah,
It's Fred,
seeing
yeah.
Fred die and then off screen well.
But again, you see their
he gets a moment. Fred gets a moment.
But
Lupin-
also, you see
Lupin
their
you never
bodies.
see.
Like that's like I feel like when I used like they die off screen, it's
But you
usually,
don't
like you
see-
don't even see.
you
what
don't see the
happens to them
killing
at all.
They just
blow.
disappear.
Yeah, they're just like because I
Right.
feel like when
Mad-Eye
someone
Moody.
dies off screen, you always leave license to bring them back. Not
The
they're definitely
I
not
know,
doing
the
that
Fred,
with this.
the
but
Fred death in the book is really fucking sad
It's heavy.
because he just
heavy.
like pretty much like him and Percy like finally settle their like issues with each other.
Like the whole
Oh.
family.
Which
Like
is
the
not
whole
in the
family.
movie at all.
Not Percy isn't in the movies
Movie
at all.
Mentioned, not in the movie.
Yeah.
but
He's like recurring with the minister throughout the whole series. In the
is
books
he the
as,
one
like,
that's at
being
the
a little-
beginning? That's
He's a
head
dragon.
boy.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dork. The dork.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Oh,
Percy.
right.
Run, head boy.
Percy,
You're
right?
thinking of,
Yeah.
Charlie.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Percy Weasley.
Why? Yeah.
So
So
they,
wait, who's the oldest one with the dragons?
Charlie.
Why do they write Percy out of the movies?
It's
Oh,
probably
it's
just too many.
They, like plot lines they
Weasleys.
probably went with but he's
It's pretty interesting.
he's
'cause
like
he-
in most of the books.
yeah, and he's in the
But
first few movies.
he's like on the outs with the Weasleys because he's like a ministry loyalist. He wants to he's like ambitious and he's like rising.
Yeah.
He's like Fudge's aide at some point or whoever the minister.
But his
is.
dad works in the ministry.
Yeah, but like he'll see him at the ministry and like they don't talk. Like they're
Yeah,
not.
they
speaking,
don't work, like-
so he like fucks
Like
off.
a ton of wizards work for the
Interesting.
ministry. Like there's
Yeah.
a ton of different departments.
And
Yeah,
Yeah,
so like
like, so he-
Fred and him finally like
he like runs
kind of
into the
forgive each
battle,
other.
Like,
Yeah.
like from the ministry, like runs in like
this
"Oh,
big
Dad."
moment,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
like Fred dies like right after.
and they're all fighting like in the hallway. Yeah, it's because it's Ron, Percy, Fred, Harry, and Hermione, I guess. Like in the hallway.
moment?
and then there's just like this explosion that goes off. Like Percy makes a joke, I think, and Fred's like, "Oh my God, Percy, are you actually joking?" Like with a smile on his
Yeah.
face, and there's like I think the line is something like it seemed like the world exploded around them or something, like some huge blast, and then like Harry wakes up in like a daze and he's got all this rubble around him, and then he's I think I actually just read up on this like as I was watching this, but he's like he saw 3 redheaded men like huddled together, and then he realized like 2 of them were crying, and it was like. Or he heard actually it was in the rubble, he heard like a gut-wrenching scream or something like that. And it's like Percy holding Fred,
Yeah.
like crying, and Ron's there too, and like,
Does Mrs. Weasley kill Bellatrix in the books?
Yeah.
And she says,
Yeah.
"Don't touch my daughter, you
You-
bitch."
not
You
my
bitch.
daughter,
Yeah, not my
bitch, yeah.
daughter, you bitch. She says it's the same line.
That's good.
Figure that's the only time they say bitch in the entire series, and
That scene-
it is kind of like appropriate.
so well, they say it about Aunt Marge says it about Harry's mom, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's a problem with the bitch, there's a problem with the pop or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
That's more of like the dog. Dog term.
Oh right, yeah,
just like
yeah,
that was
yes.
like in 3rd grade or whatever. That was like,
Dude, that moment with Miss Weasley's sick too because, Bellatrix and her are cousins. We know that though.
Yeah,
And
I did not know
we
that.
know that Bellatrix is like a crazy powerful wizard.
yeah,
Crazy powerful
and crazy.
and crazy.
And also
like
crazy.
one of the top below Voldemort, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
brutal, yeah.
But Miss Weasley just fucking
Takes that bitch to task.
I think
and
it's clear that
we
she
never
she
learn-
underestimates her.
Yeah, but like
hardcore.
in the books leading up, like we don't know anything about really her prowess as a
Yeah, they don't really. I mean, she never does magic.
yeah.
She's
but,
like all about her family.
yeah.
Her brothers were in the order and all
hey,
that.
that's
like, they're
another
powerful,
thing.
but
Love prevails.
The mother's
That it
protected.
does.
The magical force of love.
Yeah.
A mother's love.
Mother's
Specifically.
love. Well, does it specifically have to be a mother's love,
Well,
or does it?
No,
Think
Parents
about
love.
the relationship between Lily and Harry, Mrs. Weasley, Ginny. That's my point.
No, I know.
There's a through line of motherly love
Motherly love.
in this series.
But then Sirius and Harry. Not so much Remus. And
Sirius,
Harry.
the
Sirius and
ultimate simp.
Harry. Yeah.
Sirius is a simp for Harry.
for Harry's mom. I wanted to do some CGI shout outs for the setting up of like the defenses of Hogwarts. I thought that stuff was really cool. And then when the guys are running in and they run into the barrier and just like disintegrate,
Yeah.
it was
There's a
fucking
lot of like
awesome.
death.
I
Like, a
always
lot
liked
of people are dying
Oh,
on
yeah.
both sides. Yeah, like you
the
know.
the battle's nuts. The battle's like crazy.
And I'm glad, and that's. I think when I was watching people get killed, I was like, I like how this movie. I mean, I think we brought this point up. Matures with us, and like you know, when before we probably weren't killing people, now people are dying.
It's true.
Now people are getting killed with magic, and like you know, we're using you know,
You see death.
curses,
Yeah.
and we're
Well, you
watching
think
people
about it,
getting
And they
you
have
evaporate.
more fantastical deaths for sure. It's not like someone getting shot,
Like
but
intent to harm, not
Right,
just like
right.
Yeah,
Right.
and think
There's
about it too.
intent
You have
to kill.
You have on the side of Voldemort. You have the. Sorry,
no, I just like the
Vol-
I like Voldemort better.
Voldemort. No, Voldemort. You have. They're all using like.
Killing curses
Yeah,
and
they're
shit.
using
Yeah,
Avada
you hear,
Kedavra
like-
and shit.
That's the thing. So do they? Is Harry not about using the killing curse?
No.
Yeah,
I didn't think so.
He's the good
Okay,
guy,
he's
you
like
know?
yeah,
He's
that's what I
Batman.
thought.
None of them
I don't
do.
So
know.
that's what I thought. Okay, I
None
They're
of them
dying in
do.
other ways.
Part of
I
me
was-
is
They're,
like
they're like a total
just-
crime.
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Like,
So
yeah, if you
and
get caught
that's
using it's murder. And
Yeah.
like,
interesting.
attempted,
Even
you
in
know.
defense, you can't use it.
think
I
you're
guess because you
supposed-
could
I think
do
you're supposed
something
to
to not kill.
incapacitate. Yeah,
Yeah,
I-
that
I
makes
think,
sense. No, that because that does make sense because the idea is well, like you got your wand out, you could have used a defensive spell,
Yeah.
and not you don't need
But
to
also,
kill
I mean,
someone.
you
That's
see-
like usually if you kill somebody in defense, it's never like very like in
There-
real life.
yeah.
It's not like
No, but that's
oh,
what I'm
you got
saying.
away with it. you
No,
know?
for sure.
Like,
Don't get me wrong.
a
There's
lot
still
of,
a
like,
crime to get, but I'm
litigation.
curious if you could even still, again, questions I don't necessarily
Yeah,
need
yeah.
answers to. But
You brought it up earlier about the Giants. I like that plot line from is it Order of the Phoenix?
Yeah.
Where Hagrid is talking about his
Grow up.
with his brother. I don't think we talked about that when we did that movie.
no, I think we did.
did. We
Pretty
I
confident,
don't really
but I
remember.
don't know.
but
We
Well,
might-
how do you feel that they were on Voldy's side?
it makes sense. Hagrid brought it up. He talked about it earlier that they were
They
getting
were already,
recruited.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah,
Again,
and they brought that back. I mean, they didn't need to shout out. By the way, Hagrid. I don't understand why he's not in this movie more. But anyway, yeah,
because he's
like-
just he seemed to be captured by them. I guess. And do we even
Yeah,
really, like?
I can't remember why he's there.
yeah,
I guess
he's
they
just
just
there.
captured him. Like he when
Oh,
he
why-
is there,
Yeah.
he
And
does
why they
carry
allow him
Harry,
to-
like, he does carry Harry out.
Interesting.
I just don't remember what.
But yeah, just
maybe
that
did he
Giants
go to
are
talk
there.
to the spiders or something, and they catch him in the woods?
Maybe no, because like the hippogriffs come. Did he go to get them or something?
Yeah, he was doing something to aid the fight.
Because like the hippogriffs come and like they like quote unquote say the day in one moment in the books,
Buck
and you
would
have like
say.
the house elves who like work in the kitchen
With
fighting.
pots and pans.
You
You have
and stuff,
creature
I
out there.
think.
Creature's like he's like shouting like
rambling racist
like
things.
totally out of character.
yeah he's like for Regis for
Master Regulus.
yeah
and all,
yeah Master
shit like
Regulus
that.
like
creatures at home.
you have creature fighting
Yeah.
and shit who like
'Cause
hated
they-
Harry
'cause
and
they
all
get,
them
I
for
think
the
when they
first
get him
time.
going for Dobby and all that too.
Yeah.
Like, but Dobby was always trying to do stuff for them, and they're all like, "This."
Oh,
guy's a
that
fucking
reminds me. That's
Dobby.
where we get Ron and Hermione's first kiss. Ron and Hermione's first kiss is when Ron's like, "Do you think it's like moral for the house elves to be fighting?" with us, and
That's
and,
what-
Like,
and
thinks of
Hermione,
their welfare.
but it goes all the way back to Spew.
Yeah.
which he always made fun of. and
Yeah,
didn't
which you
care
always made
about.
fun of, which was part in 4 in Goblet of Fire, where Hermione's trying to fight for like the rights of the house elves,
Yeah.
and no one really gives a shit.
There were a few good moments of, and I think
I just remember that.
Yeah.
I think they were very well delivered because I think they could have been really cheesy when Ron was like, "Yeah, you said that last year." Like he said something, and he's like, "Yeah, you said that last year." And then Hermione's
Hermione-
like,
I did.
I did say that."
Ron,
Like,
right, let's go.
they
Yeah,
give-
let's do
Brilliant.
that.
Yeah.
Ron finally has like his confidence in this movie.
I agree.
Like he's not. He doesn't question himself anymore. Like you can tell by the way his lines are written that he has like grown as a character.
I
Steps
also
into
want to
himself.
shout out.
And he's also not shy around Hermione.
Absolutely.
anymore, clearly.
I want to shout out the logistics in this movie because there were multiple, and what I mean by that, there were multiple times in a movie where I go like, why didn't they do this? And like there were multiple in this movie where I'm like, oh, and they did what I was fucking thinking, like with Neville on the bridge. I'm like, why the fuck are you all the way across the bridge? You idiot. What, like, this doesn't make it. Then he runs across. Oh, it's to blow out the bridge and trap everyone. Thank God. Like, common legit.
Yeah.
And then there was another thing with the basilisk
Yeah,
fangs.
debate.
When they go, I'm like, why didn't he grab, like, a couple of the fangs? And he grabbed the second one
Yeah,
after
yeah.
blow out.
they-
Like,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you,
yeah,
God. Like,
yeah.
there are so many times when I feel like I'm watching a movie now these days, or even a TV show, Disney shows,
Yeah.
where I'm like, they're just like, well, this happened because it happened.
Right.
It's like,
We
no,
just
that's
decided
yeah,
that's
that's
what's-
just
yeah.
what it is, and we wrote it
Don't
that
worry
way.
about it. Yeah,
No, this
yeah.
happened. Oh, Voldemort destroyed the one fucking fang. Oh no, we grabbed another one because why the fuck wouldn't we?
Right.
Great stuff.
Why wouldn't we do the logical
Yeah,
thing?
I really appreciated that. I also like the moment. I don't know if he was doing it out of actual like an altruistic reasoning, but that Draco went back for his friends. I don't know if he was doing that just to get help to go after Harry, or he was actually trying to save them, though.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of
We get our
confused me.
Because he does follow him to get the
our
wand.
crab
Yeah,
replacement.
so I didn't.
Yeah,
Was it
but he-
Crab or
Yeah.
Goyle? I
Crab.
couldn't.
It was so Goyle is the one who's there. Crab is not.
Is not there anymore. That's
but I
right.
think
Is that
that
in your
dude-
fun facts?
think
Well,
that-
no, I was like, I just have it. I wrote down when people died during the movie, and it
So-
just says Crab or Goyle died.
I can't remember if the other dude, like I guess like what,
Goyle
the black
dies.
Dude, like
Is he
he's
named
like
the black guy?
Blaze Zabini or something. Isn't
Yeah.
that him?
Or the actor?
No, isn't that like the character?
character.
Name? Like I think in
Oh.
the movie he's not
The Black
a
Slytherin that
I think he's
replaces
not
Crab.
a replacement for Crab. I think he's another character in the movie. Like I think he's casted as something else.
Right, I would assume he's another character.
Because
But
the Crab actor in real life got
Yeah,
like,
that's
arrested
what
for
I'm saying.
murder or some
Yeah,
shit.
we-
Yeah, he's like in jail.
yeah, we
yeah.
talked. I think we talked about this in literally the first episode.
Oh, I
but,
think you're right. Now that you're
yeah.
Yeah,
mentioning
like
it.
something serious.
That's insane.
The so
How is that not a fun
so
fact?
Goyle is
Yeah,
the
you're right.
one-
I missed it.
Goyle's
I
the
don't-
one that's there and croaks, but it's Crab that does what he does in the book.
Got it.
So they just kind of flipped
Makes
it, which
sense,
was
yeah.
easy. They're both there in the
And,
book.
Interesting.
I don't remember him dying. I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So
that was probably the worst death. Like the way that shot was, I didn't.
It didn't
love that.
look
For
good,
all the
and when he
crazy
like
effects
fell
they have
into the
going, you're just like,
fire.
So
and
here's,
it, like,
here's
washed
my
him out.
question.
I agree.
Yeah.
Does he lose control of that spell?
Yeah.
That's what it definitely seems like.
Well, yeah, he's literally.
he
It's like
does
he
not
can't
know
even
how to
stop his
control
wand or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like
Okay.
that it's called fiend fire. So it's like crazy mad. That's one of the things that can destroy a Horcrux.
God,
And like that's
oh.
in the book. They don't even stab that with the basilisk fang, if I remember correctly. They just,
Interesting.
it falls. Harry drops it,
The diadem.
and it like I forget. I think I could be wrong about it, but I think he just like knows it got destroyed. And Hermione was like talking about it. She's like, that is one of the ways to destroy a Horcrux, but it's too powerful. Like she's like,
Yeah,
I would
we
never,
can't
I would
control-
never
I would never
risk
try
it.
and do
like
it,
he
yeah.
can't like turn it off.
In the
winning
books,
that.
does Harry? Do they kind of show a similar reaction from Harry whenever a Horcrux is destroyed?
Like he gets
Like he
the-
gets very because I
that
thought that was
mind
very
connection
good.
they have.
Yeah.
Like what's the word I'm looking for? Set up. Looking back again, I know what's coming, but looking back, that I feel like kind of allows you to discern what is coming. I would love to go back, and I've said 1,000 times, and just not know anything what's going on here, and truly be like, could I have put that together by that time?
Right.
And I do feel like
I mean,
they have.
dude, I forgot Harry dies. I forgot.
Yeah.
How did you forget
Twice,
that?
bro.
I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen
That's
this movie
true,
back
yeah.
to back.
But like I don't know. I thought that was very interesting. I just lost what I was going to say.
I like to imagine Harry gets like shit faced at bars. It's like, you want to see me eat a killing curse?
Yeah, you little
Like,
bitch.
yeah, he's just like, two
I
for
fucking
two.
love it.
2 for 2. You want to be 3?
I bet you I could do it a third time, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I believe him. He fucking survived twice."
Yeah.
I did think the Chamber of Secrets CGI was a bit slick. I don't. Again, they had to recreate an entire
Dude,
set.
they did the
when
mummy,
they were in there.
the face in the
They
sand.
did. But it was cool, like you said before, to just go back into the chamber at all and
Just
see.
revisit that,
No one
yeah.
went down and cleaned up that basilisk. I guess you don't want to.
That
but
snake
I
looks
feel like
smaller, to be
There's
honest.
like part of like what they get into every
That
year
thing
is kind
could
of
fit
like
through the
hidden
pipes.
too. Like they don't.
that
it's
makes
not that
sense. True.
everybody
Like no one's
knows.
going to be able to
'Cause
necessarily
who
get
was
in
down
there.
there? What? Hermione doesn't even go down, right? Because she's in the
No.
hospital,
No.
petrified. So it's like Lockhart, Ron, Harry.
That's true. I didn't even think about that. They wouldn't even be able to get in.
Lockhart's in what's it called? He's in the hospital
Yeah,
now.
so he's got no memory of it.
That's true.
Dumbledore knows what happened because Fawkes brought them to. Like, so
I'm sure
it's kind of a
basilisk
question
venom
of like
would
who
go
knows.
a long way on the black
yeah.
market, but no.
It's kind of like a who,
I'm sure the
who
whole
even knows what
skeleton
happened.
would go
It's
a long
actually
way.
just this fucking. I love that idea in like a magical world where it's just like, oh, it's just all this weird venom and just like feathers and
You can,
things
like,
that
sell.
you can, that you
Yeah.
can sell.
Yeah.
Always great stuff. Yeah. So Crabbergorl, we talked about him. I love, like I said, Harry feeling every Horcrux kind of thing. Horny bitch died. What's her name?
Cho?
Lavender Brown.
Lavender. They show.
Wait,
her.
Lavender Brown
They
dies?
show. It was a very kind of anti. They just kind of show her dead on the ground.
I
And
can't
they're-
remember. Does she actually get attacked by him?
shit.
In,
Yeah.
Like I think she does
That's
in
who
the
that
book.
was.
Yeah, like laying
But I
like
don't-
flat.
She
I don't
wasn't
kinda
getting
focus on-
eaten by Fenrir.
I didn't
right?
know she died. Like I forgot.
Or maybe she was after because that's. I know it shows
There
her
is a
just
girl
dead on the
being-
ground.
Doesn't
yeah.
Hermione fuck him up in the book? Like he is like on top of running at somebody, and somebody like like he's like he gets hit with a spell, and they don't say if he got killed or anything, but he's like taken out of play. There's like a part of the book where they're like running through the Great Hall, and they're just
Got
like,
it.
bam.
It's not Neville.
It's like a blur goes by, and it's
Yeah.
like Fenrir
I-
like going to
oh,
get
shit.
somebody,
I
and
love
somebody
the-
hits him with a spell.
I love the utter chaos of
trying
the
to think.
grounds during the battle.
I
Like
agree.
especially
I
like
can't
when I was
remember.
talking
Can't
about
remember.
like when I was talking about the clothes thing, and all the students like just fucking like going buck wild, like fucking running all over the place trying to figure out what they're gonna do and how they're gonna fight.
And I feel like,
Just like-
even though it's very chaotic, you still can tell what's going on, and I really appreciate that. Too many, even like the new Game of Thrones fights, it's just cut, slash. Like you
They
can't
did
really
terrible
see
cuts of that. By
It's
the way,
really
and
bad. I
actually-
don't know
yeah,
why,
yeah.
but that's like more of an extreme example.
But they're also
you
at range.
feel like no, it's
they're
true.
never in melee. You know, they're
No,
not like
definitely.
slashing each other. They're casting spells at each other. So,
But I just got to give them credit for making it.
cohesive,
You can cohesive, and
yeah.
you can tell what's happening, and that they're trying to cross the ground to
Yeah.
get to here, to get to there. Why aren't they apparating?
There's like,
Or is there like?
well, it's weird because Draco apparates in there. I don't know. I guess it's
Again-
just kind of like they're trying to find things.
yeah, that
they
makes.
don't know where
I
they're
guess you're
going.
right. That makes sense.
It's a good question, though.
I brought up the diadem earlier. I wanted to bring Cho Chang back.
Very
Yeah.
underwhelming
Yeah,
return.
for her one line or whatever.
Yeah.
Again, they don't wrap that thing up at all.
Yeah, she's just there.
Dude, cut her off real quick. She's a rat.
Dude, I'll give him
The way
credit.
they
Yeah,
instruct-
throws
yeah,
before
yeah.
hosing.
And then
Yeah.
obviously Luna Lovegood, but I like the Renoa or Helena Ravenclaw scene. How like I like for dedicating like a whole I guess I'll say like 5 to 10 minutes to that. I'm like I kind of enjoyed that because she kind of then again backs up the fact that like last time she trusted somebody, it's Tom Riddle.
Yeah, another connection. Type
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah, like another
And again, you remind me of him. Like good.
Yeah. Same as like Slughorn when like Harry's asking him for the Horcrux memory. There's always like,
And he's like, he was
oh,
quite
the
like
last
you,
time
actually.
someone was asking me this.
And
they
I was
fucking
gonna.
killed a ton
Speaking of
people.
Slughorn, I was gonna critique some of the teachers not being there, and I'm like, "Where's Trelawney?" Oh, there she is.
No, there was even. I love the idea. I was like, oh, Slughorn was, I guess, still stuck around because obviously, why wouldn't he? McGonagall obviously being
McGonagall,
back was
Snape.
great.
Because she gives him the business in the book, like that. She's the one like says to him, like,
Yeah.
if you aren't gonna stay and fight, like you can leave the grounds or whatever. And then and she's like, was it the time for Slytherin to show its colors or something? Like
Yeah.
this now. And then like that's where you get kind of like good Slytherins that maybe not by name, but like
But they step
do.
up.
Some do stay to fight, but most of them
Yeah, most of them,
like cheese it.
like I said, because like their parents are out there.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
makes sense. See,
Not
that's a
all of
cool
them.
layer too, in the way of like, I like that more than being just like tell these pieces of shit to get to
Yeah.
the dungeons.
Yeah. But McGonagall's like totally like Hogwarts' mother. Like she's
No,
like,
she
yo, you're
definitely
gonna
is.
stay and defend it, or
was
you're
she
gonna
has-
get the fuck out. Like,
She has one of my favorite moments in like the last fight scenes in the book. It's when Voldemort like announces that like, Harry Potter is dead.
Mhm.
And I think in the movie it's like Ginny who screams,
probably.
right?
Who screams
Or
in
whatever.
the
Yeah,
So,
Ginny.
yeah,
But in the
yeah,
in the
yeah.
book, it's McGonagall gives out a loud no.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like,
she's
huge
like
no.
all broke.
And like you
Oh,
never
right.
really got like the kind of like feeling that she was. Obviously, she liked Harry, but you never got the feeling that she was like very fond of him. She's kind of always giving her giving.
Yeah,
like,
I definitely. I get what you mean.
with them.
I hear
Yeah.
you.
But she was like little cracks. So like,
yeah.
all right, Potter.
It was
Like,
a really,
I definitely can't.
It
Yeah.
was a really good moment in the book.
Buying him the fucking Nimbus 2000.
Yeah.
Was
I love
she
that.
there?
It was like-
Was she? Oh, that's right. She
Yeah,
buys
she
something.
does.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
shit.
all these
I don't
memes
think I remember
like,
that.
It's like her as like the Drake hotline playing. It's like buying the best broom on the market for a kid who genuinely can't afford it, and it's like buying it for the richest kid in all of school history. And she's like,
That's so fucking true. I didn't fucking think about that. He's a
like-
fucking
And he
billionaire.
talks about his money
Yeah.
in this movie.
yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
But
I totally didn't even think about that.
She clearly like feels for Harry like
That's
that
funny.
way.
That's good.
Wait,
I never
so
even thought about
I
that
want to
way.
ask you guys, what do you guys think of the final fight?
Between like the big battle.
Yeah,
or
but I
like,
mean, well, between Harry and Voldemort.
I thought it was good. I think
It's pretty short.
It is.
It's not
Yeah.
long.
I
you
don't
know?
think it overstays its welcome at all. I think it's very much this kind of in a very like on purpose way, haphazard toss about. Like I texted in the group chat, I love how Voldemort's getting so angry and annoyed with him that he's literally just slapping him across the face by the end. 'Cause he's-
I really
onto the
like,
ground and
stuff.
and you can, and this is kind of like Harry's confidence when, they're on the ledge and he calls them Tom.
It's like, come on, Tom.
It's so demeaning.
It's a good moment. He's
It's
like, no,
so
you're on my
demeaning.
fucking level, you piece of shit.
Well, that's
right,
like
right. He's
like
just referring
in
to
that.
just, you're a normal person. Your name's fucking Tom.
You're human. You're more.
I
than-
also
So-
like the moment with McGonagall, I'm sorry, where she's like, his name's Voldemort. Just fucking say it. Like
Yeah.
at this point.
and also
But-
their faces merge when they're
Yeah.
So like
doing whatever.
Voldemort's whole thing is like he's ignorant to the fact that he thinks he can like defeat death, essentially,
Right.
and like that's like really his big downfall because like you can't.
He can't.
And in the book, so like that whole fight scene is it's not that crazy. It's a lot of dialogue, it's a lot of talking. And like Harry has like a line essentially where it's like he at this moment Harry knows he's the true wielder of the Elder Wand, and he has this whole line like he like doesn't he break it down to Voldemort?
Yeah. He
And
like,
he's-
he like makes him feel stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
with
like
Draco, yeah.
he breaks it down to Voldemort, and like he essentially like he's like, let's see who the wand chooses, who's the real. It's something along those lines of like, let's see who the wand chooses.
He's
the real
really
wielder.
cocky.
and then they
Yeah.
put it down in the middle and
Because
they're like, come on, come
Voldemort
on.
has the Elder Wand that was Dumbledore's, but Harry's got like the
He has
Draco's,
the
Draco's wand.
Yeah.
that is like
That now belongs to him,
that
right?
was the
because it's like
master
it's
of the wand to Harry. Then
So that was the other
invested.
thing. We're
like
kind
Drake-
of getting ahead of where. 1 second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we didn't go through him.
No, it's
dying.
okay. But what was I just totally lost my train of thought? Fuck me. I shouldn't have stopped.
Okay,
Oh,
you
with
think-
with
okay.
the disarming ththing. Voldemort's talking to Snape, and he's like, "I have to kill you." Is that true? You only have to disarm the person, right?
Yeah,
Technically.
yeah, because I looked at yes, you only have to disarm. Like that's
Okay.
how
you
that is
do have to.
actually
Yeah,
the-
you only have to disarm them. That's also
But the wand choosing the wizard thing, like that is
that also brings
that's
into
like
a full,
true because
And even like when they're talking about Malfoy's wand at the beginning, Ollivander, he's like, this was Draco Malfoy's wand, but I suspect its allegiance has changed or something like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool because the idea of like, oh, that wand's like, oh no, I like this. This guy's
Yeah.
better.
He's hot.
I think she said like J.K. Rowling said in an interview. I think like the Elder Wand always goes to power. Like it's very impartial to like sentiment about it. It's just like what's the next powerful move. Like,
You have to-
so that's like
Interesting.
Dumbledore gets it from Grindelwald, but we don't know how necessarily yet. It was a duel they had, but like we don't know what happened. So it was like
Dumbledore
she's like it's
obviously
more
won,
than just
and
like
so-
raw power. It's like
Yeah.
there's more that goes into it, but it's like it's impartial. It's like this
That
is
makes
my
sense.
best chance at being the most powerful.
and you have to
Interesting.
remember, Harry was the owner of the 3 Deathly Hallows, the only wizard ever to
have
be in,
all
to
three
be
at
in
once,
possession
yeah.
of
Since
all
what's his
3.
face, the youngest brother, right?
Yeah,
like, the
with the
story.
Peveril brothers.
Actually,
the-
no, because it disappears.
That's what I thought.
Never
He
mind.
just
Never mind.
disappears,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
the first wielder.
Yeah,
You're right.
but so like that
And then he gives one of them up.
yeah, but he technically could have
Well, yeah,
been.
I guess he uses the resurrection.
He technically
so-
could have been the most powerful wizard with all 3, like ever, and
Yeah.
chose not to be.
So
And he's
But
also
that- yeah, God.
no one. What was I going to say along those lines? Oh, going on the Tom Riddle thing in the chat. So I read that moment right afterwards. I was like, I remember how he dies in the movie. I was like, this does not die like this. Like, so I went and I read it, and he just kind of
talking
just like
about Voldemort?
he kind of just like lumps over, and like it says like Tom Riddle whatever, like lumped over. They don't call him Voldemort in the book. They call him Tom Riddle.
Interesting.
Whatever, lumped over, blah blah. And I like that death much better. The book because like
it's dramatic in the movie.
That,
you know?
But it also shows like he was mortal.
Yeah.
He was just.
He dies right.
That was one of my
Yeah.
gripes that I was like thinking of him.
So he doesn't
totally
disappear.
agree with you.
No, he just dies. His body's there.
See, but
dead.
I will say, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of him, like, just all of his life force in the world is gone. He is the last little bit of it. But I also don't necessarily understand
The
what
body,
kills
yeah.
him in
It's
the movie.
It's his spell rebound.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was.
Like,
all right, that's what I thought.
Like
All right.
the classic Harry Voldemort, the green and the red is like
That's
a
what I
killing
thought.
curse, and Harry spells Expelliarmus.
I assume
like,
so.
He just
Okay,
only
and then
uses
that rebounded back at him and
Yeah.
kills him.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to talk about the scene where Harry actually goes to face Voldemort though in the woods.
Yeah,
I was
before
confused
he
on
dies.
with the gem. Does he drop it before
Yeah,
he
yeah.
walks up there? So he basically I guess
Like,
I'm
yeah, how
confused
does he
about the
use it?
logistics of how
Yeah,
he's
how does
using
he
it.
use it?
He just decides like, all right, I'm going to.
it's like
or
a
he,
mental
or he
thing?
absorbs the power.
There's-
Again, this is me getting into the nitty-gritty
the
logistics.
story
I don't know.
says like I think what's it like? He turns it thrice in his hand,
Got
and like
it.
she appears. So I don't know if like they don't show him doing that, but
Interesting,
maybe
sure.
he like closes his eyes. I think.
And the
I don't
thing is like
remember
not in the
exactly.
gem anymore, right? Isn't there like a Deathly Hallows symbol and it like disappears like when he drops it? It's not in it.
I think you're making that up.
No,
I
it definitely
don't-
is in there. There's
Really?
like it's the triangle with like the circle and the line.
That might have been in the ring, or Dumbledore might have put it in
Interesting.
there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, because
I
it
didn't
looked like it
notice
was like
that.
within the gem. Here, I'm
I
curious,
didn't notice. Yeah.
but yeah, no.
Yeah,
So
maybe
Maybe
that,
it's there when he opens the snitch.
yeah, when he opens the snitch and it like floats out, you can see it.
Okay.
But
Yeah, there's definitely. I think now
like
you're
the
saying that,
symbol
there's
within
something
it.
in there. I didn't know if that was just like a light
yeah,
trick or something.
at least I thought it was a Deathly Hallows symbol.
I know what you're saying.
Anyways, that whole scene was really good of him just kind of standing there and just being like,
I
I'm
thought-
accepting death.
I actually thought like just before that, like James Potter kind of got the shaft. Like Harry's like right up to
I
Sirius.
actually
like,
agreed
You know,
that-
like and Sirius is like
I-
right here, and like
Yeah.
it's hard, and his dad's probably like,
You
what
must
the
have been
fuck, bro?
you must have been
What
reading
do
my
you know?
mind because
Yeah, but he never like ever
Yeah, he
talked to
didn't
his
know.
dad.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was
I mean,
just
he
like-
never really talked to his mom
he
either,
goes,
though,
he
but-
goes right to his mom, big chat.
Serious.
Hold on, let me go talk to Remus real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry about you like losing your life and
So,
your kids and
I wanna
He
make-
also saw those memories of his dad being a dickhead.
Sure, but I don't
and
think that's
murder.
I want to
true.
make
So it's like,
I want to
fuck,
make a
no shoes on, killed in his own house. That guy was slipping, dude.
sort of paralleling this and Batman v Superman for one specific
my
reason.
Oh, it always
God,
comes back to the
dude.
It always
BBS.
comes back to BBS.
Mute.
It always
We're
comes
gonna
back
put a
to BBS.
timestamp in the description.
No, I'm kidding.
So in BVS, Bruce, the death of Martha haunts Bruce more in that movie than like they've normally talked about. So it's like not his dad's death doesn't seem to affect him as much as his mom's, and in this is the same thing where James Potter's kind of getting the shaft, but like the connection between him and his mom is greater, and they really show you that.
Sure, I will say this
And
though.
maybe it's a bad thing that his dad doesn't get any time with him there at
But
the end.
the thing that works about this, I'm sorry, that doesn't work about the Martha thing in BBS is that you have to be told that about the Martha thing. Whereas with this, Harry's mom sacrifices herself for him.
Right.
That
And
is a
and it's
very
told you
integral
over
It's been
thing.
baked into the
Eight,
story.
That
it's told you over
mom's-
8 movies.
And also that he has his mom's eyes, and like I feel like his mom is just brought up even more than in this.
Oh,
But
she definitely, especially with the stuff with
Yeah,
Snape.
I mean, you got 8 movies. to
no,
do it.
exactly,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But no, I did actually. I noticed that too, but I didn't write it down. I had that same thought when he was like, "I'm sorry, Dad," and he's like,
His
and what,
mo-
no, he goes like, "Does it hurt?" And he's like, "It's just cold."
was serious.
Or something. Oh, what's
Yeah,
that serious? I can't
Yeah,
even remember what he
quick
said.
and
Quickly falling asleep. Yeah.
Well, and his
I
mom
think-
is
I
the
think-
one who sacrifices
Yeah.
herself.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
only
saying.
line
So it makes
I
sense. But
remember James having is like till the very end when he's like, "You'll stay
that's
with me." He's like, "Till the
exactly
very end."
Yeah.
And,
what
like,
it is. I think you're right.
I'm like, I hope I didn't just miss him talk before this.
No,
but,
it's
like,
true.
I don't think he
It-
said anything. Like,
I wonder if they did have more and they like had to trim some stuff
like
in
some
there.
deleted
But
stuff.
this is the
that was a
shortest Harry
cool-
Potter movie. So
That was a cool moment. I did like that.
them all showing up. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We also did glance over another big reveal. Snape. Snape.
Right, yeah. Snape
So-
did die.
Severus.
Snape died. Snape
Yeah.
got fucking mauled by a
And
snake.
that's like I feel like a 5 to 7 minute scene of them going over all of that. By the way, how do they meet exactly? I know Snape just doesn't come out of a tree and
Yeah, he's this tree person. Dude.
He's just hanging. No, he's a weirdo hanging by the tree.
So, like, did they meet
Snapeability.
before Hogwarts?
Yeah, they're,
Yeah, they met when they were
kids.
kids. Like,
'Cause
she
they're
was running
from
away.
The same area, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean,
They meet at like a
he just
park or
fucking emerges
something.
from this.
Yeah, and then
and
they
then
get-
this
Snape
tree.
decided to be her simp for the rest.
Yeah, then they go to
got a
obviously they
fucked
both
up
get into
life.
Hogwarts. You go to Hogwarts together, and I think they meet. That's when they meet like Sirius, or maybe they might meet Lupin too, but definitely James. Like I think on the train.
And he's like a dick then.
Yeah, and they're like so like I think so they have
And it-
that's part of the in this scene there's a few stuff that they left out.
You get all the context of why Snape doesn't like Harry. You know? What?
steamrolled. No, I was just laughing. Sorry, God.
Wait, what?
No, he was like midpoint. And I was like, I was
sorry.
like, wait, what? And
Sorry.
then rolled right over.
No,
The train
so like
My bad.
so there's a few little moments like they left out. Like you had that moment when in the scene with Harry and him in the I guess it's in the boathouse in the movie,
Yeah.
but it's the
It's like it's not the Shrieking Shack.
yeah, it's a
but-
Shrieking Shack.
But
in
it's like not in the movie. Yeah, in the
I think
book.
the boathouse makes more sense because it's closer, right? You know?
Yeah, but
the Shrieking Shack's like pretty
you
far
got,
away.
You got the map. No,
I mean, like, I
don't where
I
it is.
know-
Well,
I can
actually,
say that for
they would have to
fucking
travel
fact.
3
Go into
miles.
the,
I do agree with Gooch in the way of
Whomping
like
Willow.
you're. It's there. Like, is
Right.
how integral is the location to that scene in the book? Do you feel?
Oh, it is because that's where Snape used to like run off to when he was like would like console by himself was the Shrieking Shack. No,
Because he couldn't
No, it
stop.
was Lupin, and then James tricked him into
Couldn't
going.
stop.
ah, that's
Sipping.
what it was. Yeah,
So
So like it's kind of like comes full circle.
it's just like
in
a
sense
spot
that
not
way.
many people know about. It's like because
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
so that's why Voldemort's there.
Sure.
With Nagini,
Yeah.
and then Snape.
that
gets
makes
on him.
sense.
But oh yeah, so they had the moment when like Snape and Lily first meet the three of them with I guess it's the three of them with Lupin, James, and Sirius.
Like Wormtail's probably there. But
Yeah, and they have like a
being
whole
a little
conversation about like
weirdo.
which house is best, blah blah blah, and shit like that. And then what else?
They like argue. Those two, James.
There's
and
another scene.
Snape.
Oh, they have a scene. There's a memory where Petunia, Lily's sister, writes a letter.
that's in the. Oh, okay. It's something different than in the movie.
Yeah, when she writes a letter to Hogwarts asking for her admittance,
Yeah.
and that's why you kind of get like her animosity
Why she
towards
doesn't like her.
Yeah, because like she wanted to go to
begged
Hogwarts
Dumbledore.
too, but like she
So
didn't
she's
get
just
in.
it's not
she's
even.
like,
I think
"You're
it's just
afraid,
weird.
you're
It's
afraid."
jealousy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
And
And then,
Yeah.
and then she hates like Petunia like hates Snape too because Lily's getting along with him. She thinks he's weird. She's jealous. Like it's like a whole twisted childhood.
Yeah, and,
Interesting.
And,
Fight,
before I
yeah.
interrupted Penza, like, yeah, like they give you all the context of like why Harry, why Snape doesn't like Harry, and like how like James Potter was kind of a dick and
a bully,
and
yeah.
and he kind of came in and like yeah, like he was the extrovert and kind of came in and you know he got the girl and he didn't, and it's like a very like
And Snape could never
lonely
let it go.
boy
Yeah,
kind of
he's
like
a sad boy.
yeah,
It's
like a
lonely boy,
sad,
sad boy.
yeah.
Think
Always.
he's celibate? Think he ever
Laid?
lost his
You
I don't
virginity?
know.
like, how did you think they pieced together like Snape? So like, I get it that you get the gist of like, oh, he was like.
I
Actually
do think it's rather
misunderstood,
kind of like.
But it seemed rushed.
Here's
to
what's
you?
happening.
Okay.
Like I
don't
think they
think it's rushed
explain
at
it
all.
very. Well,
you-
I just
you-
think it's kind of a bit of an exposition dump. In a
Oh,
way.
yeah,
Like, and I
that's
think
kind of what I
that's
thought, like, because it seems rushed. To me,
it does. I
but-
think that's the not good part about it, and I think that's the thing of like maybe they could have sowed those seeds a bit better throughout the other movies, but
Yeah, see, I was gonna say, what do you think about it feels rushed? Because I buy it.
But well, so it's hard for me to tell because like they do save all that exposition for the last book too. It's not like it's like littered throughout.
sure,
like, you get
sure.
more about like
I get
the
what you mean.
James
Yeah,
and
it's still
like,
kind of more
the
not
younger
shotgun,
stuff.
but yeah. At that point,
Yeah, like, but that chapter is where you really like you see all those memories. They like it's Snape's conversations with Dumbledore. It's him being younger. Like
Yeah.
they do that like that in the movie. At that point in the battle, Harry stops and goes and
for
looks at all
sure.
that.
No, I think it connect. I
but
think
they
it,
just
I think it works. I think it's a lot to dump on you at once. It's kind of hard for me again to remove myself.
that's I didn't know if you
so
could
it's
remember that.
I would love to ask someone who's watching this fresh to be
like,
like,
how did that feel?
that work for you,
Yeah, like,
or did that?
what
Or
did
was
you
that?
add?
too
I think it would have worked.
But I do.
think it works.
And I do think just the reviews and people's reaction to this movie in general does, I guess, show that it works and the reverence for Snape by this point. So, yeah, I don't know. I do think it's a very big exposition shotgun, but that's fine sometimes. And they did it in a way that didn't feel it didn't overstay its welcome, and it got to the
And,
point.
and all the moments are so good, especially when he was an adult, when he's like, you know, talking to Dumbledore and he's like, fuck,
Distraught.
yeah.
shit.
I did
Yeah.
the scene of
Like,
him
oh, God.
finding the Potters. I
Yeah.
thought was very good, and him
I
just
imagine he like kicked James.
I do
Or
too.
something like
Yeah,
that.
he fucking
yeah.
punts
And
him in the
he
face. He goes by,
he's, like,
and then
filling
just
up
him
Lily.
just
Fucking
consoling.
weird.
and I
The
love
dead
how
body,
like, you know, he never like lets that go. It's pretty interesting.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always.
it's
Probably not very mentally
Always.
healthy, but yeah,
No.
it's good
Always.
for him.
It's definitely not mentally healthy. It's
Going to everyone like it. Always.
it's interesting because like characters are normally not like written like that.
Rigid.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's
good way,
it's
not even-
interesting. Yeah, it's a very I don't think you don't look at Snape and go, I want to be like that. Like nobody's doing that because it's like it's not a positive
He's
thing.
a damaged. He's a
doing.
damaged character.
And
Yeah.
I do think they do a good job of making you think he's an absolute piece of shit. Like until they
yeah.
do that reveal.
So
So,
that-
I
Right,
think
showing how much of his life,
was
his
spent to this,
happiness
yeah.
that he sacrificed
So-
for Lily,
Exactly.
a girl that he never got to be with.
Yeah.
You know.
When he's explaining what happened, so they learn about the prophecy. Snape at that point is a Death Eater, and he goes to Dumbledore to ask for assistance to help hide Harry.
He
Right.
Snape is the one who who tells Voldemort about the prophecy because he overhears it eavesdropping Dumbledore and Trelawney.
Oh,
He only heard the one part of it, so he didn't
didn't
know,
realize
he
that
didn't
it
know what
was-
he was offering up as information, and then Voldemort because he's on the inside with him, he's like one of his most trusted people. Finds out that the Potters are being targeted and is like, "What the fuck did I do?"
yeah, like I fucked
So
up
then,
major.
Right.
Then he goes to Dumbledore and begs. That's where he starts. Is like he was totally a Death Eater.
So that okay, that was the clarification.
He was
Did they
full-blown.
de-age him in those scenes?
Shorter hair.
Is that just it?
It's the
Because
sh-
he
it's the
looks
hair.
like, especially in the scene when he's
Probably
going at,
makeup.
Waiting.
maybe,
More
but
than
like
that.
when
Yeah,
he's
it's-
going through the house, he looks. I feel like genuinely
Yeah, he
younger.
did. I noticed that.
I think
yeah.
I think it is the hair.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious. I don't know because I was like, is that one of like the first de-aging things anyone's heard of? I should have looked. I
And,
meant to
and
look into that
also,
more.
we didn't really talk about his actual death. The fact that like Voldemort doesn't use a killing curse on him, he like slits his throat, and then Nagini like
That's
you
the
hear
other thing.
You hear Nagini like hit,
I guess that
like,
counts.
biting him a few times.
Is
like
it just the snake bite in the book? Like I don't think Voldemort even casts anything on him. I think he just has Nagini,
Nagini.
kill him, which
Yeah,
is
Nagini
weird.
kill.
Because
Well, like,
wouldn't
he
that
can
not
possess
because then
Nagini, so I
wouldn't
think
Nagini
it's
have
pretty much
technically
Voldemort
killed?
kills him.
But yeah, it's a Horcrux, so I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just kind of weird though, because then wouldn't Harry have the Elder Wand?
That's what I was
It's
thinking.
a weird I don't know. He didn't have it at the end either way. so
Yeah,
it's like-
it was an interesting choice. And I had another question when I guess it doesn't count because he uses the resurrection stone, at least is what I came up with. But since Voldemort kills Harry and then he comes back to life, wouldn't that have made the Elder Wand his? But then since he came back, I
He
guess he,
doesn't
didn't
disarm
kill him.
him.
He kills the Horcrux part of him.
I get, and
guess.
but it does kill him though, right? Like it technically,
Yeah.
and then the thing brings him
oh,
back.
I
Yeah,
think
it's-
it's the
Oh.
the willingness.
Yeah, because Harry,
Yeah.
because it wasn't a duel.
Oh, interesting.
Harry
Like,
just gave
Harry
himself
just
up.
allowed him to.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It
interesting.
wasn't a
I
duel.
don't know if it's coincidental or not, because Dumbledore couldn't have known Harry was going to get Malfoy's wand and be the
And
Master
be the
Wand,
last,
but
yeah.
And then be
it was always
it
it was
Albus the White.
always instrumental that he do it. Like he even says it, I think, in the Snape. He's like,
He's like,
he has
Voldemort-
to be willing.
Well,
That's
it's like
that part's essential.
he has to
Like,
die before he's at his most vulnerable, like right before when he's at his most vulnerable,
Yeah.
and it has to be Voldemort or something. He says like
Yeah,
that.
it has to be by his own hand, and Harry has to be willing, or by Voldemort's own hand, and Harry has to be willing. So it's like, I think it's the loophole.
So the whole plan was that's why Dumbledore has Snape kill him
yeah.
because then Snape will be the wielder
master.
of the Elder Wand.
Or maybe he was hoping it would die with him or something. Like I don't know.
Well, it's supposed
that would
to-
have been willing as well.
I
you know what
guess I don't know. I guess you're right.
But then Draco took it anyway, so it's
But
like
Draco took it anyway. And that's another thing, like with the ending, what Harry does with the Elder Wand. So in the
I know. Yeah, that was a fun fact I have.
yeah in
I
the
know.
in the in the
Dumb.
book, he takes it and he
Breaks in half.
No, he buries it with
he
Dumbledore,
He
right?
puts it with Dumbledore's grave.
I like that confidence though. It breaks it in half.
And his
Well,
whole-
he does
yeah.
in the movie.
I know, but that's why
I
I
know.
say yeah.
No,
It's
you said
stupid.
it so calm. Like, yes.
Right. Well, yeah.
he puts in Dumbledore's grave, and Harry has this whole thing was he's like, when I die, the power of the Elder Wand will die.
Of, like,
Because
natural
no one will be
causes,
able to-
yeah.
But then there's a flaw in that
Because
Like,
what if he
yeah.
gets killed?
Yeah,
It
he's
just-
well,
assuming that
he
he's
goes
gonna
on to
die
become an
naturally.
auror, so
Yeah.
he's fighting
people all the
all
time.
the time.
So, yeah,
So if people are and
Disarming
the
him or killing
Wizarding
him?
world
Ah,
essentially
shit.
witnessed this entire fight with him and Voldemort. This
they
isn't
know
like
he had the Elder Wand.
They know
Well, it's like unknown again. Who believes in that?
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Okay. Interesting. But that's the other thing of like.
but you'll have crazies for the rest of his life trying to track him down to kill him to get the
Yeah.
Elder
So
Wand.
actually, I think this ending then
Yeah,
makes
you could
more
you
sense
could argue
to
that
me.
ending's
Actually,
better.
that it actually
it is very. It's funny how like he simply just snaps it in half and tosses it.
Well, I
There's not
appreciate
even like
fixes
a magical like pop. It's just like a.
No, it does. It shimmers a little bit when he breaks it. If you didn't
Yeah.
notice,
Oh,
there's like a bit of magic that
Well,
comes out.
if anything,
told
then it's
him-
real. It's really subtle. It's
No,
not
it is.
like a big
No,
deal.
it absolutely is.
Yeah.
It's not. No, it's not
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think there is I
You
think
have a
like
good point though, Penza.
killing it, like breaking it. It's like then I guess the power of it dies there.
But
then
it
it's like,
wasn't
could you
in
put
the
it back
wand,
toge-
though. You know what I mean? Like, because he
Yeah,
had
it's-
Draco. It's
I
like,
know.
it's a weird.
I'm confused. Like, what do you mean it's not in
so-
the wand? So
So I think actually no, never mind. I'm tripping because I
It
think
is
the
and
way
it
it works
isn't.
was that the wand, Draco was the wielder of the Elder Wand, but he didn't have Dumbledore's wand. It was just who the wand
Yeah.
respected. So when Harry bested Draco, he didn't have the wand, but it's who the wand respected. So I think it recognized him in battle with Voldemort, and that's why it didn't kill him. So he wasn't using Draco's wand as the Elder Wand. The Elder Wand was what Voldemort had, but
Yeah.
he wasn't the master, so he couldn't do it. So
but so he can. But he,
I was gonna say it didn't matter because he was using Draco's wand, and that was working as the Elder Wand, but that's not the case. It's just that the wand
Oh, okay. But
didn't
also.
didn't want to kill Harry.
Okay, but
So
so,
if
it didn't kill. So,
so
it
if
would
he
not have
broke it-
killed him.
Like if my
Okay, oh, I'm sorry.
long-
Yeah, I forgot
No,
where
you're
we were
good.
going, yeah.
Long-winded. If he broke it, in theory, it should destroy the power of the wand. Yeah.
Okay.
I was mistaken, just thinking it didn't matter what wand you're using if you're the wielder, but that's
You have.
not
Oh,
true.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
that makes
It
sense.
only
And that was
worked
another thing
because
with.
it was attacking him.
Gotcha.
The master. So that's why I killed Voldemort instead.
But
Yeah.
or on the second time.
I don't
but
know
the
if I made
first
sense
time,
there, but
I think you. I think
I
so.
tied the dot. Put the dots together in my head. I guess.
But he definitely say Harry didn't have the resurrection stone. He would have been dead after he died.
No,
that first time, right?
I don't know what the significance of that was, other than to give him courage in that moment. I really don't.
Okay,
I don't
interesting.
think that actually was instrumental, and I could be wrong. I just never understood it to be.
I will say that's kind of dumb if it was an instrument.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
And
just
that's
why
but
even
that I
include
could be
it?
wrong.
Yeah.
About that. Totally.
Interesting.
What the
The resurrection stone. So if
because
he didn't
used
have
it-
the resurrection stone, he would have been dead.
But he uses it and then drops it right there. He just leaves it in the woods.
No, I know, but again,
Which
I
is
think they're
crazy.
implying that he.
Is it like a one-time use kind of thing?
That's the thing. I don't know.
Is this item a one-time use?
We're getting into the nitty gritty of
Yeah.
how these magical items work.
Can you remember if it
But-
mattered? I just thought it was Dumbledore's way of because the
Because-
stones it doesn't work it just you can talk to them basically they don't come back as real. They're not truly themselves. You
Yeah.
can't touch them. They
Yeah,
don't walk among
because-
you. Nobody else can see them.
Because
So
the
for
whole
all
thing about
intents and purposes, they're dead and they're ghosts that only you can see. But it doesn't give
Interesting.
you
It doesn't literally bring you back to life.
no, yeah. So that's the point of the story, where they explain oh he goes
I know
home to his
she
bride,
comes
and
back
it's
as a cold.
it's like death.
down-
It's
yeah.
death's joke. Oh, you thought you were gonna pull one over on me. Here's what you get with a resurrection stone. You can talk to a not
you have this
an
person that
off
doesn't
version
want to
of
be
your-
here.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it was more Dumbledore
see.
knew Harry would need the boost.
Yeah, I was gonna Google it too. I'm just interesting.
I would love to know. What
I guess it's
the
just
real-
it just seems like a weird plot device to throw in there, and then it doesn't. Because I thought that too when they were going through
Yeah.
the whole Deathly Hallows story, where he's oh, so they come back, but they're kind of
Yeah.
like a shell of themselves.
Yeah.
But that's not what seemed to have happened with this resurrection stone.
So-
So how I read the scene is I felt he took the stone out of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It has, as far as I could tell, it has the Deathly Hallows symbol in it.
Yeah.
He closes his hand, and then right before he goes up to actually talk to him, he drops it, and the stone's empty. And that conveyed to me that he was all right, he decided to somehow resurrect himself
And
when
that-
he dies here.
That could
I
totally
don't
be
know.
it.
Yeah,
I never read it that way, but
but that's the thing. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious if
Yeah.
they would have
Okay.
changed.
So this is this is what I was thinking, and what you said is right. So in layman's terms, it gives the owner the power to bring back a form of the dead. To be specific, when the resurrection stone is flipped over 3 times in one hand, it brings back shades of the holder's deceased loved ones as long as the stone is held.
Oh, so it
So
was to
these-
talk to his
Yeah.
family.
These shades are more physically solid than a ghost, but less so than living body. Aside from the power, when this resurrection stone is owned in conjunction with the other 2 hollows, it makes the owner the master of death. So
So
Which-
So he had
probably doesn't
the
mean-
invisibility cloak.
So you need the other two to make the resurrection stone work.
like
correctly.
work fully.
Right.
yeah, but
But like, so
I
what that
think-
seems to me now? Okay, so he used the resurrection stone to talk to all of his
Well, no,
relatives.
I don't know if that's the case because like the first brother had the stone and could use it without the other two. I think it's just
But what does he do with it?
it's the thing. It's like it's not what it seems to be. You know, what I mean? Like it's not gonna resurrect anybody. It's kind of like it's kind of junk.
So
in a
now
way.
to me,
Like,
now it seems like,
it's-
as
of
I'm
the
understanding
three
it,
Hallows, it's the least
least powerful.
practical.
Okay,
practical.
so they might become the whole Master of Death thing,
Okay.
because Harry owned all three, but did not have all three in his possession at the same time. But
Correct.
he owned all three at that time.
Right.
So, what it goes on about the Master of Death is, the Master of Death, also known as the Conqueror of Death, Vanquisher of Death, and others, is the one who masters all three of the legendary Deathly Hallows, which are the Elder Wand, the Stone, and the Cloak. And it's generally assumed that becoming the Master of Death refers to some form of immortality. The true Master of Death truly accepts the fact that death is inevitable, and there are other things worse than dying. So,
God, there's a lot
Harry-
of nuance.
Harry
why I was
mastered
trying to
all
get
three
long-winded
Hollows,
out, yeah.
but did not possess them all at once. And having briefly possessed the Resurrection Stone before blah blah, but he accepted his own death. So I think like that was the whole point of like,
And that
He has to
and that
do it.
and
allowed
I
that
guess
unlocked
Dumbledore
him.
knew that like he had to. I guess
I guess so.
he was hoping that he had all three and that he.
This is interesting. So now that makes me interpret it as he used the resurrection stone to talk to his relatives there, then mastering the stone. He's already mastered the other two. That made him the master of death and gave him.
He
the,
was a Master of Death prior to
yeah,
using that.
Sure, and then at
Was
that
more
point,
just like-
that's what gave him the choice of like. Because I guess he could have chose to move on. Is the idea at that train station?
Yeah, because
right?
if you remember
Is
the
the
story,
thing.
if you remember the story with like the three brothers, they're all trying to like get one by on death.
Yep.
And the whole thing is like, I guess by Harry accepting that death is inevitable and there's nothing he can do to change that. Maybe it was like
It's like the final kind of.
that. That's also kind of how he came back, because death was like, you get it.
You
know
get
what I
it.
mean?
embraced
I'm
without
gonna
In a
give you.
sense,
Yeah.
even though we don't see like a physical
You really
death there,
understood
but-
it, yeah. Him
Like, that's-
being in that train station and
Can-
giving
I was-
that choice.
I was gonna say, can we talk about that scene? I was like,
What? Little bit?
haven't-
Yeah, we're geting there, Gooch.
yeah, no.
You're,
'cause
kid, you're jumping in here.
Getting antsy.
We're not jumping in, but Dumbledore brings up the point of like, is this real? Is this his head? And he's like,
He's like, why can't it not be real and in your head or something like that? Right. Yeah.
right. So like, is that death talking to him as Dumbledore, or is that actually Dumbledore?
Again, you can
also Dumbledore the White, like Gandalf. the White.
honestly talking about all this is making me like the ending more to me because I'm like there's a bit of interpretation here. that
I
I'm
don't
just not
know.
I
realizing
think
it.
that like just like Penza
But-
was saying, I think that could be the test, right?
I don't know.
I don't
that's
think
the-
there's
I don't know if that's necessarily the
I don't
test.
think
I
there's
wouldn't.
ever a clear like.
And there
It was
doesn't
real
need
or
to
it
be.
No,
wasn't.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, in the
Yeah.
book, like it's presented like it's Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Sure. And so that seems to
I
me
mean,
like
he talks to
definitely
him like
is.
he
Yeah.
talks to him in a very like personal, like not memories way, but like he like levels with them about stuff, and you don't know if it's Harry. Like that's why Harry's at.
So
like,
is
this
that
real?
are the scenes like kind of 1-to-1, or is it a little more in the book?
It's pretty close. Like there's obviously it's a long chapter with a lot of dialogue and stuff. But
Right, of them just
they
like
cover
talking.
yeah they cover the basic points, I guess. Like,
It's a pretty interesting scene.
but yeah, there's no clarity, I guess, as to like what that was. Like, if,
Right, which,
if that's
again,
a Harry thing,
don't
that's
need
everybody
it.
experiences thing. Like it's probably a
A little bit of both.
yeah, like in
my mind,
unique circumstances for his death.
Harry became the master of death. Death presented this option to him, and he chose to come the fuck back.
This is a
And
cool
I
way to
like
think
that.
about
Yeah,
it.
and then
No, and I
and
like
he
that
does
idea.
give him the.
And
hey,
he gives
you can just die.
No,
You're
it's true.
fine.
And again, I don't think that's necessarily true or false. That's
You can just fucking
now that
die.
we've gone through
Right.
this. I kind of really like that idea. It's interesting.
I
for
like
sure.
I was like, I guess I have to go back, and I'm like, I don't know if it was intended or not, but I'm like, dude, what a heavy question. Like a 17-year-old just tired of it all. Like,
Just
I
like,
mean,
like,
this fucking sucks.
I
Yeah.
kinda-
seriously, I gotta
I-
go.
So true.
I
I
don't
didn't think
feel
about
like
that.
I
fighting
think
anymore.
I like that. I think I like that explanation a lot because it puts a whole lot more importance on the Deathly Hallows, which
I agree.
Hell, the last freaking
Yeah.
book in this series is named after. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
a
I
little
think-
hard to wrap your head around in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
this whole
having-
conversation
but yeah,
has been pretty.
it totally
pretty
I remember
heavy.
reading the
For
first time
sure.
and reading again that chapter and they're talking about like the cloak and I'm like, oh my god, it's the invisibility cloak.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gotta be the cloak of invisibility.
Yeah.
Has to be. And then like we find out like Harry is a descendant of the youngest brother.
What?
Yeah.
Was that in the movie? Do they say that too?
They
I
don't really.
They don't.
So.
They don't really.
In the book,
tell
he
you, I
is.
don't
Yeah,
think.
he's a.
Oh,
You
see
see,
the
the
descendant.
you see the gravestone. That's the one that Hermione finds with like the Deathly Hallows symbol.
Oh,
on it.
really? That's the guys.
Peverils.
Yeah, the
like
Peverils.
they're
Oh,
the initial. They're believed to be the three brothers.
that's a nice little layer. I like
Yeah.
it.
and
That's
like
really
that,
cool.
And I think like Voldemort claims to be a descendant, but it's not known if he actually was or if they
So
just
he's
kind of
just
like
a big fat liar.
He's just-
yeah.
because the gaunt ring that's the stone
yeah.
is
That was the
they don't. I was trying to read into this. I think there's like some disagreement about whether it's actually like an ancestor of his or if like his family stole it from somewhere.
and
or,
the
like, came
ring
into
was
possession
the
of it.
resurrection stone, right?
yeah, I'm pretty
that
sure.
was the idea.
I'm pretty sure, but I can't remember. I thought Dumbledore like destroyed it.
That's what I was confused
it gets
about, too,
weird
so,
because there's
like-
a sorcerer's stone and then
Yeah.
that and then like I'm like, but I think it is going the ring.
So that was
the
not,
stone.
was the Sorcerer's Stone? Did we go over this? Was that a Horcrux?
no,
No,
that
no,
was
okay.
just like
Okay.
introduction to the world, I guess. Nicholas
Got it.
Flamel's real, that
Got
kind of
it.
thing, you know. Like,
I loved the moment when Harry jumps up and all the fucking Death Eaters start jumping ship. They're like, "Fuck
That is
this!"
yeah.
like let's
do
go.
we know how long he's alive while he's in his hands?
It seemed from the beginning because
Oh,
she's
okay.
like because she asks him like,
Right,
"Is Harry,
Narcissa,
is Draco
yeah.
alive?" Or
because
whatever.
like his whole thing in his head
True.
is instantaneous. Like that happens, then he's back. Like because it's him and Voldemort. Well, you know, he like comes
Right,
to.
right.
Because him and
It-
Voldemort are just getting.
Yeah, Narcissa asking about Draco and then being like he's dead. Yeah, that makes
Yeah, that's
a
a
lot
pretty
of sense.
in the book. That's a cool scene because it's like that. But she like puts her hand on his chest, like feels his heartbeat, and like makes a decision right there. And that's why I kept saying like you'll see the difference between her and Bellatrix. Like she's like in that moment, probably the most important decision she's made in her life. Like, do I lie to this maniac behind me or do I find out about my kid?
And then
Like,
you know,
No,
then they
but
end up,
she makes her
all
decision.
three of
That's
them
why-
end up
yeah.
skedaddling.
And
Yeah.
the Malfoys is all they care about are the Malfoys.
Yeah,
at the
they're
end
just
of the
all
day.
about-
Family
I kept
first.
thinking about that every time I saw Lucius.
Yeah, so you have it. Like she has like that moment where like Voldemort tells her to check Harry to see if
Yeah.
he's alive.
yeah,
Because he won't touch him, right? Or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, like he won't touch him, and yeah, it's actually a great fucking moment.
Mm-hmm.
And she feels the heartbeat. She knows he's alive, and she's like, he's dead.
And she's like, so like, the way she writes it too, she's like basically like lips pressed to his ears, like barely moving, like acting like but she's like, is Draco alive? Like
Yeah.
total like, fuck.
I think they
back
did that
against the
very
wall.
well even in the movie too.
I think
go,
he
yeah.
even like doesn't open his eyes, but he says yeah. I think he says yes
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he nods, but they nod in the movie. It's a really cool scene.
Does Neville have his moment in the
Yeah.
book?
Oh,
Same
yeah.
thing.
He is.
Nah, he has a
early-
better
before
moment,
that,
dude.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is a cool.
He says something
moment
along the
for
lines
him.
of like he's like talking about like joining Voldemort's army, and he's like the day hell freezes over, I'll join, or like something like
Yeah.
that.
Good
like,
stuff. Yeah,
And it's actually, you know, how he picks up. Neville picks up the Sorting Hat at one point.
that's where the sword is, right?
That's yeah, so he picks that up, but like when he does that, he's like when hell freezes over, he like reaches into the hat, and Neville, being a true Gryffindor, can pull it.
Yeah.
And he so what he
It's very ironic. The Sorting
He's-
Hat is just like
around him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
shit.
doesn't Fawkes drop it again or something
again,
like
and
that?
then doesn't Voldemort burn it?
Yeah, something wild. I can't-
Voldemort
I
like
wish I-
burns it,
but-
and it's like it gets destroyed.
okay.
And,
Yeah,
like,
it's just
Neville-
like
Neville
oh yeah,
has
here it is.
But then he swings on. This is Harry still in Hagrid's arms. So like Neville swings, kills Nagini, and then Voldemort goes to attack him, and Harry already got dropped on the ground. He's under the invisibility cloak, isn't he? Like in the chaos, he's like
Yeah.
So he's not in Hagrid's arms. I'm sorry. So he's like on the ground. He pulls his cloak over him, so nobody like knows where he is. And then Neville does his thing. Voldemort goes to attack him, and Harry throws a shield charm over him and like throws the cloak off, and that's like his reveal. He's I'm not dead, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
Bitch.
yeah, so I think it's like I'm gonna.
It's
I
kind
might
of
have
like that
twisted
in the
some things
movie,
up,
dude,
like-
when he's like like scribbles out.
Well,
like,
I appreciate that
fucking right
he's
here.
just like,
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm
Yeah.
going over here.
I'm back.
I like how that scene's during the day. It's a nice juxtaposition as the fact that whole battle is at night.
Yeah, because it takes place over the whole like all night or whatever.
Right,
Obviously, they
yeah,
can't show
yeah,
that, but
obviously, yeah.
Pretty cool. Like daybreaks coming up and
Right. Yeah, and then they fight, and then we
Yeah,
already
we already
talked about the
kinda-
wand
yeah.
scene, and this is what I don't like about the end.
Mhm.
I need those epilogue moments. I love those epilogue moments
What
and
do you
stuff like
mean?
this, Well, we're okay. Wand breaks. Now we're walking back. 19 years later, like we don't really know what happens to all these characters.
That's
the
how it is.
epilogue.
That's how it is.
But that's the epilogue. You're talking about the epilogue.
No, I usually like the
That's-
after the battle.
Yeah, you don't
but
get that.
You know how things in games where like it's an RPG and we get told what happens to the characters like in the immediate future.
You're talking about the end of
maybe
the Sandlot, like Chubbs went on to play.
Right,
whatever,
right.
like,
I like
like,
those moments
Dude,
because
like,
we
After everything settles in the battle, the next chapter is literally like 19 years later, and you're like, what the fuck?
It's like that time jump.
yeah,
is
I
what it is.
I would have loved some like
Yeah, but
you
it's
know,
not. It doesn't
maybe-
exist.
I know. That's why I'm just saying I would have liked it. I would have found it interesting. It doesn't matter if it doesn't exist.
That's just a series ending you wish you got.
Yeah,
Like, in
because
general,
I like the closure with like and just to know like what happened to these characters. Like like the Cursed Child, I guess, kind of does that in a way because we. I mean, maybe I'm totally wrong. I don't know how many characters the Cursed Child brings into that from.
I
from
thought
the past.
I loved the epilogue. Like I thought it was bold to do 19 years later, and then you get
Just jump.
then
It
you
is
get
bold.
you get moments of like why like Harry named his kids these
So I
names.
assume the
God,
book-
I hate that
those-
stupid fucking
those-
name.
those
Albus
memes-
Severus
it is a dumb
Potter.
Those memes are so
says like
fucking funny.
yeah, he says like Severus, like named after the bravest man he's ever known.
You want to know what Malfoy's son's name is?
Yeah,
But then you do
Scorpius,
Fucking
right?
Scorpius.
Yeah.
What the
Wait,
fuck is?
those memes where it's like you were named after two of the bravest men I ever met, and it's like a list. It's like Dobby, Remus, Sirius, whatever. Like, it's a list of like 20
That's
other
so
deserving
silly.
people. Like, okay,
So,
yeah, like,
I
Snape and
assume that
Dumbledore,
scene
yeah.
in the book and in the movie are pretty much 1-to-1, right?
pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't.
I would
There's
say
a-
more,
But
it's
there's just
always
more context.
Ginny looks
Yeah.
like such a Karen mom. I hate it.
There's just more context.
She
Like,
just
like
looks like an old. She,
just
I
add
didn't know
more
what you
stuff.
meant by like.
Like
I
her-
thought she was about to have like the Karen haircut and walk in or
Like
something.
there's something about her. that
my
just didn't look right.
favorite moment in that epilogue is like the Malfoys are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually
And,
did
like,
like
yeah,
that
there's, like,
too.
a-
I never
do we
noticed
know
that
who
before.
he marries?
They say
her name. I forget who
Some
it is.
some
It's
rando.
not Pansy though. Like it's
No,
somebody
it's
else.
it's
Who's
um,
Pansy?
I think Pansy Parkinson. She's the one that's like, "What are you waiting for?" Like, give him up or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Give
Really?
that shout out.
Fucking take him.
Yeah. I can't remember. His
Let's
last name.
do it.
yeah, no, but like I just thought
It's
it was
some gothic
like
name, like
yeah.
something like.
and I think Malfoy might even like they give a nod.
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
No, they do. He
Yeah,
gives
they
kind
do.
of like a smile and like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
I
A good
forget,
little
if they, I
closing
forget if they
moment.
have any more. If there's
Yeah,
more
with,
context in the book.
It's not Hedwig's
uh,
theme. It's leaving Hogwarts
so
is
Ne-
that theme.
They
at the end.
Yeah.
hint
No, it's
at,
a
like,
ride.
Neville
Yeah,
and
no.
Luna.
It's leaving in the first movie. I mean, they're literally going to Hogwarts, but at the end, that theme leaving
correct.
Hogwarts.
But
Thank you.
yeah, Neville and Luna
Going to Hogwarts.
and their kid or Neville is the herbology teacher now.
Herbology.
Like Professor Sprout, like Neville, you know, you can
Yeah.
always use gillyweed, like
Yeah.
all that shit. Like, that's actually, that's different. That's a movie thing. But Neville loves herbology through the whole thing. So he's a professor there. They're like, send our love to, Uncle Neville or, whatever, Professor
Yeah.
Longbottom, whatever they call him. And like Luna is his wife. They have kids and shit. Like,
Okay.
Probably
I think
weird
they
as
have
fuck.
kids, but-
Yeah. By the way, there was a Neville part. It's after the final, after everything's done and the dust is settling, and everyone's just sitting around, and he's just got a big old fucking smile on his face, and I
Yeah.
love it. I just feel like he's
With
just
the
like,
sword,
yeah, I
yeah.
fucking did it.
Yeah, he
Like,
was
that was
buzzing.
great. Yeah,
He was
exactly. He just
Yeah, we didn't talk about that scene where he's like, I gotta find Luna and tell her I love her.
great stuff
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And then even I did kind of like again. I think the Ginny Harry
He's on
relationship
like
is
some sort of drug.
whatever. But there is a moment right after that where he turns to her and she's like, "I know," and then they kind of kiss, and I like that. I did.
I forget. It's like in the we didn't mention this in Half-Blood Prince, but Harry breaks up with Ginny in Half-Blood Prince.
In the
because
book,
he's like getting serious with Dumbledore and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Because
because
of like the
not
shit that's
romantically.
going on.
no,
yeah.
like the protector also.
yeah, because he's like,
Like he
there's no-
knows like Voldemort's pretty much gonna be coming after him. He
Yeah.
does that to protect her.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
then-
makes sense because it only gives him another.
I
fucking
forget, and
target.
then I think they have a kiss at the end of in the fight,
Yeah.
but like
It's funny that
I still am always.
I don't
I was never
I don't-
really
I don't-
crazy
I don't
about
go for
that.
that shit.
I don't
about
like
that.
Is
Ginny
it in the
and
books? Is it any
Harry's
better?
relationship.
It's a little
It's
bit more.
not-
It's a little bit
In
more
the books,
fleshed
is it
out, but
more
it's
fleshed
not.
out?
Ron and
It's-
Hermione.
it's still-
I'm
you're not
down
crazy
with.
about.
Ginny and Harry. It for some reason it just like I don't think they just give it enough time for you to care
I
about
agree.
their
Yeah, I just
relationship.
don't think they
where
do.
like you're with Harry and Hermione from day one, regardless of them liking each other. But like
Dude, I don't know. I
Yeah,
always
it's-
pulled for Harry and Hermione. Always.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
right.
Oh,
Ron,
How
I
could you
didn't
not?
really care. Like, I never was like, this person's right, this person's not. Like, he doesn't really have that many.
I like the
Tense moments
idea
with women.
of the like best friend getting the girl.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's-
good for Ron.
It's
It
different.
is.
Yeah, but
but
they're all-
it's
they're all
different, but
best
it's almost
friends.
better. There was a better. I don't know. way to do it. Maybe
I think
I don't
she
know.
has come out and said like she regrets taking the path she did and like would have, in hindsight, preferred to put Harry and Hermione together.
Oh, JK.
But I'm like, well,
yeah.
you can't do
It's
that.
like, what's the
Stop
point?
saying
Yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff,
no,
you know,
Yeah,
like,
shut your mouth.
just let it be what it was. You
Yeah.
know?
All right, guys. I think we've covered just about everything in the film.
We could
Let's-
go on and on.
yeah,
but,
we really
you know,
could. We
I
keep
would have
going and
preferred
going.
him to end it with Luna for any.
I do also-
Jenny.
Yeah, maybe. I actually would agree with
Luna
that.
got-
Right? They
Luna,
do.
like,
They,
got
they,
him.
they
Yeah, I
have.
actually
You're
would
right,
agree with
man. They
that.
have
That's so
more
true.
of those
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah,
Ginny
they
and,
moments.
and Harry just don't fucking have that.
I
That's
agree.
the disservice the movie did her. Like,
Yeah,
it is
that's
a little
true.
better in the books, but like,
But
It's
even
still not great.
Doesn't
yeah.
sell
But the
Still
movie,
not
and
great.
then again, the movie really isn't about that.
I also want to give a special shout out. I don't feel like we've definitely talked about him, but not nearly enough. I don't know if we ever will. But Ralph Fiennes as Voldemort,
Right.
the whole performance he gives,
yeah.
one of the best villain
Ray
performance. No, it's Ralph. I looked this up before.
Ralph.
It's
No,
Ralph. It's Rolf.
spelled that
It's
way.
Rolf.
It's not said that
I
way.
YouTubed this for like half an hour before I came
Really?
here.
They
Dude.
probably
Yeah.
they just call
it's
him
Rolf.
Rafe, like maybe
Rolf
is their
Fiennes
nickname.
or something. It was either way.
I've heard everyone say
Maybe
Ray
I'm wrong.
Fiennes.
Because I've heard that too, but I was googling it and it's saying no. Some British
I
man
did- I
showed
did
me the
too.
30-second
I have
video.
too.
It's probably like Mike and Michael, like
Yeah.
Rafe and Ralph. I don't
Yeah.
know, like, short.
Yeah, just I gotta shout him out. Can't do it enough. Great performance. Just
Yeah.
his physicality, even in it and
He's
everything.
Great job,
crazy
Tom.
faces,
The
yeah.
just the hand,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
How about
very
his
iconic.
gross sausage fingers?
Disgusting.
You ever notice them?
Yeah.
Like I was,
and
like,
they got the
God
long,
damn,
fucking
yeah.
disgusting black
He's got
fingernails.
repulsive hands.
I like at the end when I think you talked about when he was first born, he looks like a snake. At the end, when he's dying, he looks like a snake.
I definitely
gets
think they
snaky.
kind of show I would agree with that. He looks a bit more snaky as he kind
Like
of
as he's
Yeah.
disintegrating.
he looks a bit more demonic almost.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
'Cause he like looks like he's got like red eyes and
No, I know. Yeah, yeah.
pupils like are all crazy in the book. So like they made him more human.
Yeah,
Did-
they said
did
they got
ever-
rid of the
did they
red
ever
eyes because it's
explain
just
why he looks like that.
I
He's
don't
just
know. It
I
might just
think
be like
he's
the-
just very
And does it
evil.
happen before the resurrection or?
that I don't know.
See,
I'm always curious about that.
It
Yeah,
almost
like, and he loses his
like
fucking
some flashbacks,
nose,
it
like-
almost looks like he's him, like at the Potter's house, like the night that Harry's parents died. But like I don't know if it's flashing between like his current reaction or like is it him there doing. I'd have to watch it again to like point out what shots I'm thinking of in my head.
I'd like to think of it
But
as
I
like
don't know.
dark
Yeah,
magic does that to you.
Yeah, like he's,
After
he's
a while,
so
like you are
twisted.
so
Illidan.
I mean, this is kind of
Well,
what I
he-
feel like people thought about Palpatine
it
even
doesn't have
before.
anything to do with so he made Wormtail like milk Nagini's venom
Yeah, like kept
like
him
like
alive.
to
Extracts
keep
the
him
venom?
Yeah.
no to
Yeah.
keep him alive when he was like in his, like
You don't milk
in
venom, I don't think
that
you
infant
extract the
stage.
venom.
No,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like the
they-
way they
he
that's
says
like
it
the way
really,
they
he,
worded
Like,
it.
she nourished him.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
maybe that.
I don't know if that's where he got her. Or if they'd been
No, but
around.
Yeah, I don't
no,
know.
but maybe
No,
that's
yeah.
why a little snake like.
So-
Yeah, it's a good reason.
I don't know. I
thought.
again, like I think of it like how I feel like
also
Palpatine used to
drinking,
be
like-
thought of before Episode 3. Like it's just you
Yeah.
look terrible because you're on the bad side.
So,
You're
Yeah.
using all this
Oh
terrible
yeah,
energy.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah,
The
whereas
unicorn
unless
blood too.
or you get
Like I
hit
wonder
with-
why.
Yeah.
Because it's like the fate worse than death.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
whatever.
No,
Interesting.
that's definitely like why
That's
she
bad
why she
juju, yeah.
created him looking like
Because he's
that.
bad. Yeah.
No, he's bad. No, and I would love to hear like
I'm sure there is some
I would
reasoning,
love
but I'm
for-
sure that it's also part of.
we talked about this before,
Yeah.
but I would love for JK to actually sit down and instead of going like because I know she's known for kind of going back and be like, well, maybe if I did this.
Oh, it's
Like,
so
I'd-
annoying when she
it-
does stuff like that
It
sometimes.
is, but like, go back and just write a history book. Do it Silmarillion.
Yeah, what's
do,
the
do
what's the Harry
history
Potter
of
Silmarillion?
that Wizarding World. So you have things set in
she's
stone.
released stuff like that.
Is that what Potter
Kinda
more
like that.
technically is?
Yeah,
Is
it's
there
like a
some stuff
dump-
on there?
That's a dumping ground. For
And
like,
and didn't she like release a Fantastic
history of
Beasts?
the
yeah,
Wizarding
like, there's
and where to
World.
find
Fantastic
them.
Beasts and where to find them. There's Quidditch through the ages.
Yeah, yeah, she,
Tales
like-
of Beetle the Bard is like I
Yeah.
actually have that. That's a good
Yeah.
read,
No,
like, for,
absolutely.
a
Like,
kid's
I would
book.
love to see her, or just anyone, maybe someone with her blessing, even to flesh
Dig
out
out,
the
yeah.
history truly, like knee deep of this
Yeah,
world,
it'd be cool.
almost as much as an R.R. Martin. Not,
start
I mean,
with
that's of course
That's
it's
what
on
I'm
a
thinking.
different
That's
level.
what I'm thinking of.
Well,
Yeah.
because like in Pottermore, you can dive into the into like the North American schools and
Yep.
and stuff like
Is it
that too.
Ilvermorny or something?
Yeah, I forget.
At the beginning, there were 6 Infinity Stones.
'Cause there's like
Alright.
there's a ton of schools.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
well, that's the funny thing. I do feel like these movies imply that Hogwarts is a very one of a kind place
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yes, it
whereas
does.
and that it's like
But
the
it's
Wizarding
not.
School, but it's in the broader world, like you guys are saying, there's much more
'Cause
schools.
If you think about like Voldemort's like on the rise, but is he going to America and raising hell?
Yeah, exactly. Like, are there people over there that he would try?
Yeah.
Like, that's an interesting idea. Like, are there some people over in America at that point in time?
I kind of like that the movie
Oh yeah,
stays.
no, they definitely.
that are like full on
central
magic
to
or like.
to Britain.
Oh yeah, no, there's American.
Where like
schools
if
and
this was American made, it'd be staying in America. I like how they stay in.
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
they
and I mean
don't-
that seems
They'd
to be
have
big.
like Tommy gun wand.
See,
Suits and
Just
stuff.
a
Yeah.
Tommy gun wand.
Fucking Hogwarts is in fucking Long Island or some shit.
Yeah,
Atlantic
this is a
City,
world
like,
that like
I think
even looking back.
I think the one of the American ones is New York.
Oh, is it? I mean, that makes you hope
guarantee-
so that there's one.
It's always in New
What
York.
I wonder what the Philly
I think-
Wizarding
I
school
think-
is. Ugh.
No, I think it's in like
Probably
upstate
awful.
New York.
Did you ever see the Key and Peele
forget,
sketch, the
yeah.
inner city Wizarding
Yeah.
school sketch? It is one of the funniest fucking things they've ever done in
I
their
don't think I
life.
have. I'll have to watch.
You
yeah.
gotta. I don't even want to ruin it. Look it up.
Okay.
Google it. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but Key and Peele. It's so
Inner
funny.
City Wizards or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that?
it's like inner city wizarding school, something like that. Maybe we'll watch that honestly before we leave.
Nice.
All right, guys, you ready for the fun facts?
Yeah.
Alrighty, we'll get right into it. So, Tom Felton's reaction to Voldemort hugging Draco was completely genuine because it was improvised by Ralph Fiennes himself.
You can tell it's good.
No, I like that moment a
noticed
lot.
it.
Looking, it's just, and you can just see him just be like, "Oh, what the fuck is even happening?"
Damn.
So yeah, there's that.
Welcome, brother.
So initially, Harry was supposed to be swapped out for Professor McGonagall in the initial duel against Snape, but J.K. Rowling was like, "Get the fuck out of here." That's like a key moment for
Yeah, it is.
McGonagall. So I think that was a very good
that's
choice
fucking great.
to keep
And
that.
she launches those spells at him, and he just deflects them.
And then he's just like, but then he's like, "No, I'm out of here.
he's
Fuck,
like,
I
"Peace."
can't even take this."
I
yet."
use my
Yeah,
later,
they're
my
like the-
cape thing.
They're like
Yeah.
just interject real quick. They're like the two most powerful wizards on
at the
site
school,
right
yeah,
there. So that's
that makes
pretty
sense.
awesome. Yeah.
It definitely conveyed it for sure.
Yeah.
This whole film takes place over the course of 24 hours, which
Cool.
is kind of interesting. I feel
yeah.
like not many movies, a few here and there you'll definitely see, but
Did you see Jack Bauer in the background?
no, I didn't.
No, I'm just kidding. That's
I realized
Yeah,
as I was saying no, I didn't. I'm like, he's making 24.
I was like, I didn't
joke.
even watch 24, and I was like, oh fuck, that might have gone way over.
No,
you know?
it connected as I was answering, but I appreciate
Yeah, I was
it.
like, I was
No,
like,
I didn't.
Trios. I think Trios is going along.
I was like, man, he's being really nice right now. Like,
yeah, Jack Bauer.
Jack Bauer,
Kiefer?
that classic guy.
Yeah.
Of the three performers, Rupert Grint was the only one who never seriously considered leaving the franchise all the way throughout.
all those options.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Radcliffe initially thought about leaving after the third movie, and then Emma Watson after the fifth.
Like, why the fuck would they
a di-
want? Like, imagine if they left.
Yeah, but I mean, remember, it's a.
Sure,
how old are you
life, dude.
when they were like 12, like
Young, dude,
14
yeah.
when they're.
You ever seen
You
that
probably
picture?
made so much money off the
You ever
first.
seen that
couple.
picture of the three of them when
Yeah,
they get
day
picked?
one.
It's,
Yeah.
it's like really cool. Like the release.
I think I have
these are
seen
the
that. Mm-hmm.
three that it's like it's crazy to see them.
It's insane. I mean, they grew
And then
up.
that, like, you
They
know,
grew
I
up on the
guess-
set of these movies, which is pretty
Yeah,
weird to think about.
that's where I get like why you might want to leave. Like
For sure.
your
It's
whole
like-
life, dude.
it's a lot.
Just rolling one
to
to the
just
next. to the next,
know
to the
for
next.
5 more years you got to keep doing what
I mean,
you've
that's
been
kind of
already
like
doing for
what
3. Especially as a child.
Chandler Riggs did for The Walking Dead.
That's
You know,
true.
he grew up
and he
on that
made
show.
all his
and-
money
and
off
he left.
that. What else is he on?
And he
now? No,
ruined the
kidding.
show.
What? Because he left? Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? That show went for too long, so it's still going.
It's still going.
According to J.K. Rowling, the Battle of Hogwarts was fought on May 2nd, 1998. So the 19 years later would be this 21, right? 2021?
I was busy
2017.
2017. So
Who could forget?
who could forget? This is the shortest of the Harry Potter films. Also, not to start with Edward's theme, like I said, we don't get that at the beginning. At the time, this film set the record for the highest grossing opening weekend ever, with 169.2 million.
Do you know where it is now?
Not this second.
Huh?
Is it a billion yet? No. Oh, sorry. I think about the opening weekend record.
There's no billions.
I was gonna say I
yeah.
can see like one of the Avengers or something doing.
No,
that,
they're at like 500.
500.
At the time, this was previously held by The Dark Knight, which earned 158.4 million in its opening weekend. The record was then broken again 10 months later by The Avengers in 2012, which earned 207.4 million.
Wow.
I think the
10
newest
months
one is
later.
like. I was looking on the numbers and I wasn't
Infinity
quite
War
understanding.
Endgame.
I was gonna say like double.
Th-
It was Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, it was.
There's been a
Spider-Man,
lot
No
of
Way
hubbub
Home.
Yeah,
recently
it
because
was.
like I feel like it's gotten broken a bunch of
A
times.
few
and then
times, yeah.
Avatar getting usurped and then coming back because of re-releases. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, the re-release stuff.
Getting confusing.
Yep, no, there's a lot. I mean, it just
Or
keeps
not-
getting broken.
and
And I don't know if
yeah.
I think Top Gun didn't like that. That's approaching like the the highest grossing movie of all time. Well, it's at like 4th or 5th.
No,
I think
domestic.
right now. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It won't. It
It won't
hit.
pass because the international audience, it's not even being shown in like China and things like that.
So only.
But again, that movie's still doing awesome, which just to show you guys, you don't need all the markets. You only need some of them, and you're still going to make a fuck ton of money. Don't change things in your movies to release them places. It's stupid.
Yep.
In the story, Voldemort obviously creates Horcruxes in an attempt to cheat death. In French, Voldemort's name means fight of death, or it can also mean steal/cheat of death. I did not check
So
that.
what is Voldemort in French? Voldemort?
Voldemort.
No, that's Voldemort. Yeah, so I
it's
think that's
Voldemort.
I guess
So
so.
it's
Yeah.
Well,
Silent
mort
T.
mort means death. What does vol mean in Latin?
To cheat death,
Probably
maybe. I don't know.
cheat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably,
Cheat,
it's
yeah.
probably something close because mortician.
Yeah, that would make sense. By the end of the franchise, a lightning scar had been applied approximately 5,800 times to Radcliffe, as well as his stunt doubles and stand-ins. I think like it was saying like 1,800 of those were Radcliffe himself or something
Wow.
like that.
You know what's funny? I don't really think I noticed the scar all that much.
Well, you know, it's
When they're not in
at
his
the end
hair,
scene.
too.
I
Yeah.
thought the scar was gone for a second. I was like, "Oh, did like killing the Horcrux get rid of the scar?" But no, it's there.
It
It's just
hadn't
very
pained
light
him in
by that
19
time.
years.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not.
That's
I'm
like the
never
second
like.
to last
I'm never
line,
like
yeah.
looking for it until they like actually like they like someone like pushes.
You
his head.
need to see it.
Right. Yeah.
To film the scene in Gringotts, the prop department created over 210,000 of those little plastic gold coins. That probably sucked, unless you're pressing them out. I can't even imagine how
You
they
just
do
make
that.
chocolate
especially-
coins and then just.
Yeah, that's
eat
true.
them, yeah.
I'm sure they didn't have to be that
And
detailed.
then
But
when
still,
goblins like he counts him and he.
fuck, I'm missing one.
Yeah.
Creating the scenes of destruction throughout the second film required 145 tons of polyestyrene rubble.
There were some good shots. I'm like, this is totally
No,
real
a lot of
pyrotechnics.
real
like,
sets.
When McGonagall is like in the courtyard and then like I think it's when the battle first starts happening. You can tell like the pyrotechnics like go around and like.
I
I'm
think
like,
we said
this
it
is really
before,
good.
but they do awesome practical sets in this. Like I think that you feel like you're actually in the place you're supposed to be in.
Yeah.
That's why that chamber scene I feel like stuck out to me so much because it was the first scene where I felt like, wow, this is a completely computer generated environment.
When Harry like first flips out of Hagrid's arms and then he's like running away from Voldemort, do you think that was all like him? Like, how do they do that kind of scene? Like, when it's like the walls explode.
Oh, so they probably have they set it up. It's
yes,
probably like one or two
pyrotechnics.
takes. They're
Yeah.
like, okay, that's probably stunt double running by them, and they literally are. They're
Yeah,
probably
they're
setting off.
blowing
I didn't know
them
if they
up.
like.
Some of it
film-
might have
like
been
a-
CGI.
like a-
yeah, there
yeah.
might have been a plate that they filmed
I-
separately
wait,
to
Or
do
like if
that.
they film
but-
an explosion and then film.
I'd
him
be
and
curious to
dub it
know if
over
they
or something.
used miniatures as well. They probably did.
So this was the first one to not use miniatures. It said everything was created digital, like all. I was confused. The reason I didn't put it in here was because I was kind of confused on what it was saying. They used digital assets to create the miniatures this time instead of creating physical miniatures. So I'm like, what does that mean?
What
Does
does
that
that
mean
mean?
they use?
so they
That's
used
why I
miniatures,
didn't-
but they weren't physical.
I guess so. But again, like then there's
Wow.
also in these big. Again, most of their sets seem to be physical with green screens and such behind it to obviously to push back. But I don't know. That's why I didn't put it in there because it was confusing me. I was like, so wait, you're not like what were the miniatures then used for? I didn't quite understand what they were saying. But again, special effects wise in general, I think these movies are just
Impressive,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. What just happened?
We've come a long way from Buckbeak.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Buckbeak.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
fucking
when we were
looked
first
awesome.
impressed.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
For sure. By the end of the franchise, Radcliffe had gone through 160 pairs of prop glasses. How many is that per movie? I'm trying to think. That's like what?
8. It's
8,
20.
That's 20. That's actually not that much now that I'm thinking
Right.
about it. I feel like
20?
Yeah, 20,
Yeah, it's really not. Huh. Alrighty. No, that was it. Oh, I didn't delete
He's
those
like
two.
he's got beef with the costume department. What are you gonna do? I'm Harry Potter.
Well, again,
like
he
the
apparently
wands.
broke
Yeah.
so many of the
Yeah.
wands. So
Yeah. Who's gonna
uh,
believe you? I'm Harry fucking Potter. Give me a wand. Like he's
in the final scene, as a train leaves the station with the next generation of children, leaving Hogwarts plays, which was the first thing that plays when the kids go off to school at the first movie. So good little tie-in together. It ends it as well as
It was
he
kind of
ends
like a backwards name for
yeah, it doesn't make
the
any
song.
sense. That's
Well,
why I
they
was saying
played
to
it-
Gooch,
they
I'm like
played it at
leaving
the end,
Hogwarts.
too.
Yeah.
That's why.
So we already talked about this, but at the end of the film, Harry breaks the wand and tosses it instead of, doing what Penza was talking about, which I do think is a smarter move. Makes more sense. This was the final film of the three. Wait. This final film was nominated for 3 Oscars. When it failed to win, it cemented the Harry Potter franchise's record of never winning a single Academy Award.
crazy.
That
How
blows
many
my mind.
How many nominations?
I didn't look
Yeah,
that
you're
up.
probably good.
So-
wow, they never won
I'm just
anything for
surprised.
costumes. or
Again,
anything
that
like
just shows me. Fuck the
I got-
Oscars.
I got,
God damn it.
I got two things.
Yeah.
It's funny with the Emmys, Better Call Saul just ending. 0 wins, 46 nominations. That's crazy.
How many does Breaking Bad have?
They
Good
won a
question.
ton.
Yeah, they did
Yeah,
win a ton.
that's what I'm like.
And
I'm wondering if it's like they're just kind of like, all right,
And
whatever. I know they're different, but I just
No,
wonder
no,
if it's like
no.
kind of like
I mean,
okay.
Like that team. But no, yeah, I get
I'm
what you-
just giving like a parallel of
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
show that like is
impressive.
that people feel was very
critically
deserving.
acclaimed,
Right,
but
they didn't
not-
move.
Who votes for the Emmys?
I don't know.
It's probably some type of
answers-
committee or
who
weird
answers
the
any
lady.
academies?
poll,
I don't
you
know.
My other point was
But even who's the Academy?
we
Like,
talked
I
at
guess you
music.
can look it
We
up,
talked
but-
about music like sort of
bunch
at the
of, like,
beginning,
actors and shit.
and the composer like John Williams just does the first movie. I'm pretty sure,
I think so. I didn't look that up.
and like and then it becomes another guy, and I think the music kind of stagnates in the middle of the series and then gets better at the end.
I mean, I definitely think the only recognizable theme from these
Is-
movies is dun dun. Yeah, it's Hedwig's theme, like for the most. And I don't.
There's
I should say
ones.
you would
I've
definitely.
never-
There are some others.
No, for sure. I'm sorry. I guess
Like
that's the only
Lee
one I could
Hogwarts.
I could say
The-
to you. But if I heard it, the other ones I would probably.
I mean,
be
the,
like, oh, that's
first,
from
the
Hogwarts.
first movie is like full of them.
I don't know the
John
names of
Williams.
any of them. Like,
Yeah,
this
it's
is
true.
news to me.
I am not one who picks up on music in.
I am.
But I'm
movies
just like,
at
if you
all.
were like sing a theme from Harry Potter,
Like, I
I
know
would
the
definitely be like
theme.
dun 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 dun. Like that's the one that I would think of.
Well, the score for films just never.
It really has to stick out to me for sure. I will say,
I
the
just
theme I've
don't
been
really-
really liking in Black Adam. I like that theme a lot for those trailers. But
It's funny, I haven't even noticed the Black Adam theme. I don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes trailer music does not stick out to me, but I'll notice it in the movie.
yeah. All right, gentlemen, that does it. At least for that portion. We of course have the ranking. So this is before we get into everyone's individual ranks. We will just go through our regular high tier, low tier, as well as our collective rank. All right, Gooch, where you at?
Mid-tier film. Just going off the point of like we don't get a lot of movies like this. It takes a fucking series of movies to get to this point, so that's why it's above the low-tier films that most of these have been.
Alrighty, Casey.
I get.
Again,
So
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like we
call
don't
it-
even need to explain
Yeah,
why we're
I
doing.
know.
Like you
It's
just
a-
have to say
I know.
high tier.
I know.
Like
I'm
give-
saying high tier movie, but it might be a mid tier film at the same time. But
Ah.
that's because of my category.
I'm saying high tier movie because you got you on. You know why the ranking in my
it
brain
doesn't make sense.
doesn't-
Yeah, it gets all jumbled. I
A
understand.
film is to me
I get what
For
you're
the
saying.
sake of it,
Yeah.
I'm with you. High tier.
high tier movie. They're
Alright.
all very good.
I would say low tier film for me. Overall, just really fucking enjoyed it. It was. I appreciated that we hit the ground running and kept going. I felt like most of this movie. It was very opposite
Yeah.
of Deathly Hallows Part 1. To me, at least. But let's talk about the collective ranking here. We'll start at the original list. Number 1 is Order of the Phoenix. Number 2, Prisoner of Azkaban. Number 3, The Half-Blood Prince. Number 4, The Goblet of Fire. Number 5, Deathly Hallows Part 1. Number 6, Chamber of Secrets. And number 7, Sorcerer's Stone. All right, gentlemen. Do we think this is better than the Sorcerer's Stone? Raise your hand. All right. Do we think this is better than the Chamber of Secrets? Raise your hand. All right. Better than Part 1. All right. Better than Goblet of Fire. All right. Better than Half-Blood Prince. Okay, we're still going without...
Maybe it doesn't matter
You're all right,
if
fine.
it's up or down.
All right. Better than Prisoner of
This is
Azkaban.
where it ends for me.
Better than Order of the Phoenix. I'm really stuck on that one too. I gotta say,
up. I'm up.
I think I'm leaning towards yes, just because it ties everything together so goddamn well.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll leave it up.
All right,
That's a hard one. I
it
don't-
really is.
My personal list might not even reflect that. I gotta look.
No, I
at
love it. No, but that's kind of this is the fun thing about the general and then the specifics for everyone.
I didn't have enough time in my head right there to do like the importance of each.
I
and,
know,
like, how,
I know, it's
how
tough.
they did it. Like,
All right,
have
gentlemen,
to walk
the
that back.
final list for our Harry Potter Delco Nerd Network Rewind review, the collective list, I should say, is number 1, The Deathly Hallows, Part 2. Number 2, Order of the Phoenix. Number 3, Prisoner of Azkaban. Number 4, The Half-Blood Prince. Number 5 is The Goblet of Fire, followed up at number 6 by Deathly Hallows Part 1. And at number 7, we have The Chamber of Secrets. And rounding off the list, at number 8, is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Guys, it's been a lot of fun. But let's finish it off here with our personal lists. Gooch, start us off. How would you rank these movies on your own.
All right, so at number 1, I have Deathly Hallows Part 2. Number 2, Order of the Phoenix. Number 3, Half-Blood Prince. Number 4, Goblet of Fire. Number 5, Sorcerer's Stone. This is Philosopher's Stone on Letterboxd. Number 6, Azkaban. Number 7, Chamber of Secrets. And number 8, all the way at the bottom, Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Interesting. All right. Dang. Casey, what are you thinking?
All right, here's how I have it listed as of 5 p.m. today. So
I love it.
Could be different tomorrow,
could
but
change,
that's
yeah.
the beauty of these.
So up top, I have Deathly Hallows Part 2, followed by Order of the Phoenix, Goblet of Fire, Prisoner of Azkaban, Deathly Hallows Part 1, Half-Blood Prince, Chamber of Secrets, Sorcerer's Stone.
All right.
So it's a little like the middle of the pack there.
I
is
think
like
we're pretty
a blur,
similar there in a
yeah.
lot of ways. But, Penza.
I have 1, Order of the Phoenix. 2, Prisoner of Azkaban. 3, Half-Blood Prince. 4, Part 2. 5, Chamber of Secrets. 6, Sorcerer's Stone. 7, Part 1. And 8, Goblet of Fire.
Wow.
I like that.
That's
I like that.
That's
That's a
a
spicy
pretty
list.
wonky
That's a
list.
spicy
compared-
list.
Me
No,
and
I like
Casey,
it.
like, we're kind of in line a little bit.
For sure. All right, gentlemen.
Treya, last but not least.
I'll go backwards just to screw with everyone.
I almost thought that.
I'm going to go at number 8 at the bottom of the list is Sorcerer's Stone. At number 7 for me is Chamber of Secrets. Number 6, Deathly Hallows Part 1. Number 5 is The Prisoner of Azkaban. 4 is The Half-Blood Prince. 3 is The Goblet of Fire. 2 is Order of Phoenix. And 1 is Part Dos. Deathly Hallows.
I really,
everybody.
I think the only thing of any of your lists that I have would, like, fight about is Part 1's place.
Look, you think it should be higher?
I think Chamber of Secrets and Sorcerer's Stone are much better films than that. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm basing that off of how much easy. I guess I don't know. Part 1 was a pretty hard trudge
it's a
for
weird
me.
movie. Like it's
I guess you get more important things out of out of Part 1 for me than you do.
I
out
think
of
they're just
Chamber
better
of
put
Secrets
together
and stuff.
films.
It feels like the least Harry Potter of all the movies.
It really
I think.
does.
As,
Yeah.
as pivotal as it is, like it's
Right.
For sure.
It's so the setting is just like
And even I
takes
think
you way out of.
I
that
think-
I think I
universe.
forgot to mention it, but David Yates was trying to give it like this handheld, more nitty gritty type
Blair
of
Witch.
feeling. Like exactly. Like so,
Woods
I don't know.
Blair Witch.
It kind of works sometimes, but yeah. I'm sorry, Penza. What were you gonna say?
It's probably like the least enjoyable to watch.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like by itself,
And
like
that was, you know,
standalone.
I know you said you got through most of the cast, and like that was my main issue. I'm like, I'm just like not enjoying this middle chunk of this movie.
No, it's true.
The majority of the movie.
And then you saw how quick that payoff comes in this one. They're fucking
Right,
Here's
right.
what we
It's,
set
it's,
up.
it's so much
okay,
different.
now let's
It's like
go with
it's
the
like I
end.
didn't even.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't even that you know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's like I didn't not like the first film, you know, or like the first part.
made
Like
up-
it doesn't
it made up
it
for
doesn't matter at all in part 2.
I just wish they used the time in 1 more wisely. And I feel like they maybe could have even cut it by half an hour if they weren't going to include that stuff anyways, or use that other hour to fill in these things a bit more concretely. And I don't know, but
Did you want to do that death thing?
oh, I forgot.
Okay.
Sorry, I know it's like
I thought because
I did write down
because I was like I'm
everyone.
just curious how many named characters died at the end. I was looking. I'm like, I bet Trio. Okay,
So you mean like at like Professor Quirrell in the beginning, like that
no,
kind of
no,
stuff?
just
or
like just in the last movie, like because I was like,
oh,
okay,
this last movie.
yeah, like how many people die named?
I don't know. I mean, we
You know?
got the horny chick. I can't remember her name.
So Lavender Brown.
Fred. The Professor Lupin and his wife.
Lupin and Thomas.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
Bellatrix.
Voldemort.
Voldemort.
Countless Death Eaters.
There's
and,
of course I deleted it. Fuck me. I wrote down whenever someone died. I was right.
Grip Hook.
Grip Hook. I'm trying to think of anyone else at the battle.
Bogron or whatever. The one
I
that
don't
gets
think it's
blasted
funny.
up.
Like there's no one like Neville level even really gets.
They don't.
Yeah,
it's a
like
book.
Dean
Colin,
Thomas,
Colin
Seamus,
Creevy
or
in the
stuff.
book.
Yeah.
Like, do you
No,
remember
like-
the kid with the camera from like the earlier entry or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say there's
sneaks
probably
back in to
about 10.
fight underage, and he. Ends
I don't
up
know, though.
dying. Harry sees him go by on a stretcher. Like,
He's like,
Harry.
he's the war photographer.
Probably like aside from like Voldemort, and probably the 3 biggest are Fred, Bellatrix, and
Voldemort,
well, no, aside from Voldemort and
Lupin.
Lupin. And
Lupin and Tonks.
none of the other like Marauders die or like Lupin. What are they called? Who are you, like?
I'm
I'm surprised the
Brother.
What?
Alistair-
No, what about
what's his
what
name?
about the other
Oh,
guy?
Wormtail dies.
Yeah,
But that's in
we
part
talked
1.
about
But
that.
they don't like show him dying. Like he just gets stunned. By
What about the other guy
he
that's in the
chokes,
tower
he
with
chokes
him?
himself with his metal hand.
Yeah.
In
Oh
the
yeah,
book.
dude, I forgot this was after you.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah.
What about the black gentleman?
Kingsley, no.
Kingsley, he doesn't die.
Is it
Kingsley
Shacklebolt?
Shacklebolt? Yeah.
Wait, is it
No, he's good.
Kingsley Shacklebolt?
Kingsley
Kingsley
becomes
Shacklebolt, yeah.
minister,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
for
I guess
him.
he comes into
great.
Hogwarts and then he just leaves.
and
Well,
Hermione.
no, I think he
like,
just
works
survives. I think
for him,
and then Harry, and then Ron's parents are fine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this is like a after the movie, like in 5, J.K. Rowling was gonna kill off Arthur and instead picked Sirius. Like when he gets attacked by a snake, he was gonna die, and then she like reworked it or whatever and went Sirius. She was
Shit.
like, but it was like a between the two kind of
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
at one point. I was like,
Yeah, I'm sure there are more named characters.
Fuck Arthur
you
and his
know,
rubber ducks,
like some
dude. No.
some obscure characters. That's what I was just interested to see.
For
I was
sure.
like, let's go to the obituary.
The obit.
Snape.
Snape, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snape, shit.
Oh
obviously.
yeah, how could
Duh.
we forget?
Yeah.
But before we exit it out, Casey Penza, thanks for being on our longest rewind review yet.
By a mile,
yeah,
too. Seriously.
8. I mean,
Eight,
we've
yeah.
only done it like I think 5 was our longest before.
Yeah, that was the Brendan Fraser. The
Wait,
Fraser
no,
time,
no.
right?
Your Halo one was longer.
Well, but
Oh,
that's a
that's
re-3.
a
That's not
re-3.
technically a rewind review. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Technically,
Yeah,
that one was like a totally different beast, unfortunately.
Yeah, 30, 38, 37.
Yeah, that's been our longest like
levels.
single series thing. Like that is like
Yeah.
concluded,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah,
interesting.
but these, I mean, like most of our rewind reviews have been between like 30 minutes and 50 minutes, like really well.
yeah,
And these
really
have
only the
all-
indie ones were shorter for sure. And then like because I feel like we were just kind of trying to get our basis, and I was figuring out the formula.
Yeah, but these all passed an hour.
I mean, this I think will be 2 hours. I mean, I think
Oh
we're
yeah, this
approaching-
definitely is. It's 8:13.
Yeah, it's 8:15. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was a long one. And Trio called it.
I
We
was
were-
like, this is gonna be
we're
like a
gonna go,
2-hour
yeah.
one tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
We
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
yeah, but again, guys, thanks for doing this. Thanks for coming
For real.
on.
Yeah,
I know,
no, this
I
was
know.
awesome.
I know scheduling isn't always the easiest thing in the
But
fucking
to be honest,
do,
for
but
having to
we-
get 4 people together every other week, we did pretty fucking good. So I
yeah,
will
remember
give us
we
a
took
lot of
like
credit.
a 2-month break.
The sabbatical
Yeah.
after the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was like easier than D&D though to like get.
It's true.
Going. Yeah.
Uh,
Thanks for having us.
Of course, guys.
Yeah, thanks
And
for
we-
having us.
I'll talk about this
and we
anytime
will
you
see
want.
you
I'll
back
find you.
for
Hopefully Hogwarts Legacy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would love to reconvene for that.
absolutely.
I haven't
gonna-
seen the clips yet. I haven't seen this.
That
the
trailer
news stuff.
from last night's State of Play was not good. It was, you know what? It was a trailer of the exclusive
Yeah, it was DLC.
I actually really
mission
I
for
liked the idea, but I
PlayStation.
was
Get the
like,
fuck out of here with
Let's
that shit.
go.
I mean, I'll probably get it on PlayStation too. If like, but
I don't know where I'm gonna get it. We'll see.
There's no multiplayer aspect to that, right? Yeah, I didn't
Are
think
you
so.
gonna watch
Not that we
Fantastic
know.
Beasts now?
So I'm definitely gonna watch the 20th anniversary thing. I think I'll get to Fantastic Beasts, but I'll probably let this lie for a little bit.
Who knows? Maybe we'll rewind review those
Dude,
at
you
some
can just
point.
put
It would be a
Fantastic
while.
Beasts on and like
See,
not pay
that's how I
attention.
watch things. I'm sitting down and I'm paying attention.
When does the next one
You'll
come
like
out?
I don't know.
Is
I don't
there
know
a
if there's
next
any
one?
announcement.
There
Is
is.
there even
There
that? Have
is
they? I
supposed
thought
to
they
be.
did announce
Really?
one.
Why do we need
I don't
fucking
know.
more of those?
Well, because we need to
Watch
know
them
how.
and tell us what you think.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, you only know the story. The
I watched
plot.
the
don't.
first one. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that first one.
First one's
Jude
awesome.
Law
But-
is a fantastic young Dumbledore.
He's
It's
still
one of-
wearing slick
It's
suits.
one of my favorite fucking casting in the Harry Potter.
He better be
realm.
wearing
You know
some
what?
goddamn
You know what's
comfy
also putting
robes.
a downer on them? One, Ezra Miller. Two, the fact that they recasted Johnny Depp. That's
Yeah.
like it. Kind of like sucks a little bit of the fun out for some reason.
Dude,
I hate
it.
it because
Mads-
with the
Mads is
shit I
good.
like when shit gets recasted. I
No,
hate
of
it.
course.
Mads is good, but Johnny Depp is just who I want to see.
Right,
yeah, because
right.
that's who you're mad.
And,
Yeah.
and Mads is great, you know.
And I
Of course,
actually had
Stranding's
to, like-
Mads Mikkelsen. Come on.
I thought I was gonna be like, fuck him. He's okay. He's like, no way. Like he did a really good job.
Yeah,
in the
I-
new
Do
one.
they try to explain that change at all, or are they just like,
I
no,
don't-
this is
I don't think
Grindelwald?
so. Yeah, they
Yeah,
just
I appreciate it. That's fine.
There
I-
were
that's
rumors
some-
that they were going to address it, like in.
and it is funny how he
transformation or something.
transformed from like Colin Firth in the first movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like kind of
Oh my
interesting.
god, he is.
Colin
Yeah.
Firth in the
like Vecna, or is that
Wait,
No,
No,
Colin Firth,
not
the
Colin Firth,
Penguin.
Colin
I'm sorry,
Farrell.
Colin
Colin
Farrell.
Farrell.
Yeah,
Wait, holy shit! I totally forgot.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
Colin Farrell
He's
the entire
three.
first movie.
Why did
Yeah.
so? Why did they recast him?
Well,
They
because he
didn't.
didn't. It's a story element,
Part of
right?
the-
In the first
part
one,
of the plot.
Yeah, that's why that he's not supposed
Oh.
to. Yeah, I mean, without spoiling Fantastic Beasts.
watch it?
for
Fucking
everyone.
huge
Yeah.
spoiler, bro.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry, guys.
that
No, no,
has
no.
been our Harry Potter rewind review.
W gets you. It gets
Yeah.
me too. The we wine.
Howie Pato.
Thanks for listening or watching on your favorite podcast service or on youtube.com/Delco Nerd Network. You can find us on social media at Delco Nerds, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook.com/Delco Nerd Network. You can join our Discord where we're talking about, of course, Hogwarts and or Harry Potter and Hogwarts Legacy as we roll up to that launch in February.
Correct.
Yeah, that's in the description. And you can find all of this information at DelcoNerdNetwork.com, as well as you can email us at DelcoNerds@gmail.com. Comments, questions, thanks for the good group. Feel free to hit us there with some
Reviews
feedback.
always help too on the respective podcast services.
Absolutely. You can also leave feedback on our Discord too. We have a channel for that, of not just the podcast, but like anything.
Yeah.
Go RJ.
And a like and a comment always goes a long way too.
Absolutely.
Go RJ.
Yeah, go RJ.
Yeah, it's his time.
Oh yeah, RJ Miller. Shout out the paragraph comments from this whole series. We appreciate
We love it.
you.
We do.
We obviously we're gonna read the as these come out and the last two, even though we're not gonna probably talk about it again.
Sure.
Trio for Penza, for Casey, I've been Gooch. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we'll see you next time.
Keep those wands at the ready.
All was well.
well.